Alrighty, so we are live. As we were talking behind stage, Jared would say, we are live at the first ever Guy at the Movie Film Festival, guys. Elliot here from Movie Files, your host tonight for the, like I said, first ever Guy at the Movie Film Festival. It is an honor to be a part of history in the makings, ladies and gentlemen, and having this awesome guest. Like, I mean, look how official this is, guys. I mean, come on. Come on. This is official right here. First ever Guy at the Mirror. I got a little thing. I'm gonna, this is official. This is legit, guys. So enough of me talk. I'm gonna bring my guest in. I had to bring along a tag team of kind of my own action heroes because we're watching an action movie tonight, Extraction, the highest, most watched Netflix film of all time. But I had to bring a team together to watch this film with me tonight, starting with Alex from Levels of Geeks. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? I was like, wait a minute, like scrambling in the back. Yeah, where's my lanyard, man?
Hey man, it's exclusive, bro. I mean, it's just it's
not that exclusive. If we don't got it, it's not that exclusive.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, who's running this incredible event, they have you can order a shirt and a lanyard for like $4. It goes to proceeds to a particular cause, which I don't know the cause off top, but I know it's a good cause. But either way, if you guys want one of these fly shirts, this is fresh out of the mail. It's $4, I believe. So, but yeah, Alex, tell the people about yourself and all that fun stuff, man.
Oh yeah, Levels of Geek. We do a live show Monday and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. It's basically we cover all the media news. We cover me and Ken, which he'll be coming behind me or down the panel. But we cover the media news. We do 4K reviews. And then Fridays, I'm going to start doing DC Now and Forever, which we're going to be covering all the timeline of the DC comics into the films and how the films and comic books are totally different from each other. So look out for that in a few weeks from now. There we go.
Awesome, man. That's going to be a good time, man. So you mentioned them. I might as well bring them in. I got mid-level movie reviews. Ken himself ready to go. What's going on, Ken?
What's up, man? I got the guns out. Just got off work, ready to kick back and drink a cold one and watch some Extraction. Yeah, I'm excited.
Nice, man. Yeah, man. Hey, you and Alex run a show together, but if you want to kind of plug your individual channels and all that, the stage is yours, man.
Well, he kind of already plugged us, but yeah, we're Levels of Geek. We go live every Monday and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also got an Instagram page, Mid-Level Movie Reviews, Mid-Level Media, where I review movies and just kind of show off pictures of my collection and stuff. Also got a YouTube channel, Mid-Level Media, where I basically show off like the upcoming releases for the week. I also do Blu-ray hunts, unboxings, and all that good stuff to do with physical media. So yeah, that's what I'm all about. So
very cool, man. I got the dynamic duo on one stream. We'll see how this goes.
We're here together
for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time.
Alex,
for the first.
You got to register. You got to register to get that T-shirt, man. You got to register.
Oh, you got a T-shirt too?
Yeah. No, I didn't get a T-shirt.
Hey, these guys are a hoot. I sound like an old man. These guys are a hoot.
We promise not to bring up the Snyder Cut tonight.
No, for sure. It might come up. Who knows? But we got some other great people on the stream tonight. A close friend of mine these last couple months in quarantine. We've been on some streams together. We've been, talking off camera, DMing each other about movies and stuff like that. He's a great guy. I'm talking about Colin Williams. What's going on, man?
What is up, man? Thanks so much for having me. Cannot wait to give this movie a second chance because I actually went negative on it when I saw it. So I don't know if I'm the only person that's done that, like on the stream. I don't know a lot of you guys' thoughts on the movie, but actually wasn't a big fan. Action was great, and then wasn't all in the story. So I'm looking forward to maybe like seeing it, maybe kind of without a stick up my ass, and see if I could actually enjoy the movie. So thanks for having me, though. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, no doubt. If you want to tell the people a little bit about your channel and where they can find you and all that fun stuff, man.
Yeah. My channel is Colin Williams, just my name. I keep it simple. I do like kind of a lot of what these guys do: movie reviews, reactions, rankings, top 10 list, Blu-ray hauls. I actually do have a podcast, which Elliot was on as well, and Jared, who we're gonna bring on later, was on the podcast. I do it with my buddy Ryan O'Toole over on his channel, and we have on guests, play games, do all sorts of fun stuff there. We actually had a big episode last week. If you want to see like the crossover event of the year as far as like movie YouTuber goes, we had like 9 like YouTubers on our stream at once talking DC fandom. Brought in a bunch of guests, so that was a whole bunch of fun too. So yeah, man, I'm really excited to be here though. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, excited to have you on tonight. And then last but certainly not least, this guy, man. We have been kind of YouTube friends for the last couple years, but just within the last couple months, I finally was able to make an appearance on one of his wonderful programs that he does. He has so many great things on his channel. This guy is hilarious. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to movies, but he gets a good laugh out of me, man. It's hard to make me laugh, to be honest, but this guy is hilarious. He's a great guy as well. I'm talking about the one and only Jared from J Buck Studios. What's up, man?
What's going on, Elliot and everyone else? I just closed my eyes when you introduced me, and I imagined my parents saying that, so I can finally feel good about myself. So thank you for doing that for me.
Send them this clip, man. You can send them this clip and let them know that I spoke very highly of you.
Yeah, they think I'm just in a basement talking movies, which that's what we're doing. But yeah, I got a cold one over here as well. Not binging or anything like that. But I'm excited to. I haven't rewatched this movie, so I'm excited to. This is like Friday night popcorn shenanigans, so I'm excited for it.
No doubt, man. Hey, if you want to tell the people a little bit about your channel and where they can find you, my friend.
Yeah, you guys can find me at JBuck Studios on YouTube. I mean, again, I'm kind of doing what everyone's doing with a little bit of different flair, like my motto or my catchphrase is reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness, because I very much try to put comedy into my sketch or my reviews and sketches and stuff like that. So if you like any of that, jump over. Otherwise, just Jared Buckin on pretty much every other social media.
And don't forget to plug that OnlyFans too, right? You just
I've been having a lot of troubles with that lately, but yeah, if you're into some weird stuff, jump over to Buck Naked 69 on OnlyFans.
There you go.
Yeah.
69, 420.
Some real hot videos, people.
You guys mentioned some cold ones. I made my first Long Island iced tea. I'm really proud of myself. I was like, special occasion, bro. I was like, dude, I've never actually made a Long Island before. So
you just went to the cupboard and just poured everything in the cupboard.
Dude, I just moved. Because I just moved. So we have like a whole cabinet, like a full basically like a place where we can put liquor, because it's like such a huge kitchen. So we just got like everything stocked up. So I just threw a little bit of everything in here. So if I pass out midstream,
we'll understand, man. We'll understand.
He did the Grandpa Monster. He was like, la da dee, da da da.
No, like I was just full of
just going crazy.
Just to clarify, I don't actually have a cold one. I have a Monster here, so it is cold.
It is cold. Now I look like an alcoholic.
So,
I really look like an
drinking
alcoholic.
on a Friday night.
I have fun.
You can't do that.
Drinking and binging.
It's a work night for me. I can't go to work all hungover.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is gonna be a fun panel. I'm excited to rewatch. This is my first time rewatching since April, I believe was the initial release date for this film. So very excited to watch it with this great group of guys tonight. So as you guys can see on the screen now, all their links to their their YouTube channels, their Instagrams, in the description. So subscribe, follow them. They got a lot of great content. So definitely support these content creators. So. All right, guys, I think it's if you guys are ready, I got my Netflix queued up. If you guys want to get this bad boy started, I'm going to bring up a clock here in a second so you guys can know where we are in the movie. And if you're watching it on a replay, you know when to kind of pop in and pop out and whatnot. So let me go ahead and get this queued up. Everybody Netflix queued up to go, ready to go. Watching some Chris Hemsworth kick some ass.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it, man.
All right, so I'm gonna do a 5 count, and on go we'll all press play. So 5, 4, 3, 2, pressing play, go.
Execute.
Rated R, strong bloody violence throughout language and brief drug use. Rated R.
Only brief drug use?
I don't even remember drugs at all in this movie.
I don't even remember.
That's because it was so brief.
It was adrenaline. That's what the drug was.
Yeah, exactly. So going into this kind of, we get the Netflix presents, Netflix has come a long way, guys. I mean, we all know the history of Netflix, starting off with DVDs and having that whole setup. You could have it forever. But now they're transitioning to TV shows, and obviously they have their own kind of studio. So just kind of general thoughts, starting with Alex, man. What's your kind of general consensus of Netflix? Are you a fan? Do you think there's a bunch of trash on there? Just kind of overall thoughts on Netflix, man.
It's all right. And you know what? Keeps everyone entertained. That's the way I see it. they have a little bit of everything for everybody. You got action, you got comedy, you got crap films, you got TV shows. Man, they got everything for everyone. I mean, the quality's been getting better. That's all I gotta say from when they first started. So,
for sure.
But yeah, that's how I feel with it.
What about you, Ken? Are you a Netflix fanatic?
It's been really cool to see the evolution of it since like, how it started off in like TV basically with House of Cards. Like that was like the first big thing that came on there. And just to see how it's evolved and had different films come on there and how it's gotten to this point. And this movie kind of saved us all during quarantine, like a month and a half in. It was like the first big movie that came out since we all went to hiding. I enjoy Netflix, but like, Alex said, it's really hit or miss sometimes. You get a lot of crap. It's like the bargain bin of streaming. You just kind of reach your hands in there. You might get something good. You might not. It just depends. But yeah. So
definitely.
I think you. No.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Finish up. Yeah.
I think you said it before. Like I think that they do better with their TV than they do better than they do with their movies. So.
Yeah, because I think 2015, I want to say, was the first like kind of Netflix film with Beast of No Nation. So they're a young studio. They're very young. So they still have a lot of room to grow. But when you get films like that and Roma and Marriage Story, they get nominated. The Irishman. They're moving a lot quicker than a lot of these other studios when it comes to getting that recognition. But Jared, what about you, man? I know me and you, we cover a lot of Netflix stuff. We know the highs and lows of
Yeah. We're kind of in the front door a few days before maybe people are outraged or very excited for films. Kind of what you guys said. It's kind of a grab bag here or there. They have a lot of content. But there's good ones that pop out like this. Extraction. I know a lot of people like The Old Guard. Lovebirds. Didn't hit high for myself. I was looking forward to that. But I think that their TV stuff, which I've slowly gotten more into, I think that is kind of the cream of the crop, what they really excel in over there.
No doubt. No, I totally agree with you, man. TV is definitely the stronger point to me. But again, when you get Martin Scorsese and Charlie Kaufman and a bunch of all of these kind of not obscure, but auteur directors hitting the platform, we're going to start to get that high quality in the next few years. But Colin, what about you, man? Are you a big Netflix guy? Do you normally tune in every Friday night to see what's on the platform?
Mostly, honestly, not really. I think they got some. I think they got some hidden gems. I think they've got obviously the Oscar stuff, the Marriage Story, the Irishmans of the world. Hidden gems, I like, P.S. I Still Love You. I really enjoyed those two first films. The second one was okay, but the first one really enjoyed. There's some couple rom-coms here and there that have been kind of okay. But I would say like good majority is actually kind of terrible. And I'm like not even saying that to be mean. I'm just like I like genuinely think. And it was funny when we looked at the. They listed off their top 10 list, which Extraction came at number 1. I was like, I don't like a single one of these movies that were not top 10 like most watch. Now there's other movies I like on Netflix that are weren't ranked that I do quite enjoy, but I would say like their most popular stuff I'm actually not a fan of. And like you said, the studio's young, they got room to grow, but I think it's a lot of crowd pleaser type stuff, and when they've gotten experimental, I think some of it's paid off. And then they're hiring some A-list talent on and off camera. So I'm not like down on the studio or anything, but I just think they make a lot of movies. So and it's really hard to make a good movie. So those two things get put together, making a lot of movies, being really hard to make a good movie. You get a lot of shitty movies, and I think that's kind of what's happened.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's because there isn't even a Warner Brothers, Disney. I don't even think they put out as much volume as Netflix does. So when you put so much out, you're gonna, you're better to come across some bad ones. But me personally, I'm a big Netflix. Out of all the streaming platforms, I think Netflix is my favorite. Not only because of the original content, because we didn't really dive into it, but also just the stuff you can find on there. Just hidden gems, like you had mentioned, guys, like Uncut Gems. You can find that on there. Last year, Oscar movies, comedies, horror films, all that stuff. So I just like the platform as somewhere to be entertained. But like I said, when it comes to original content, they definitely have a lot of hits, but some misses as well. So, but definitely don't want to neglect the chat. We got some people in here unboxing movies with me. What's going on? This is going to be fun. Yes, it is. Let's do this, he says. We got Ryan, Movie Talk, saying hello to everybody. What's going on, Ryan? We got the guy himself, guys, the one that put this all together, Joe from Guy at the Movies. Glad you're again, Joe. We appreciate you allowing us to be part of this first ever Guy at the Movie Film Festival. Rocking my attire, got my lantern here. If you guys want to rock any of this swag, I believe it's available on Guy at the Movie's website to get some swagger, like myself tonight. So definitely check that out, and I believe all the proceeds go to a good cause. So definitely check out his website. But definitely glad Joe was able to pop on. We got the basic Cineplex. We got excited to watch this again. I like this for the first time. Yeah, very excited to rewatch it as well. Joe having a shirt envy. Mine isn't here yet. Yeah, mine literally came in today. Like I didn't know I was going to come in, but it literally came in today. So yeah, I'm rocking the shirt, man. Rocking the shirt. So with this film, we're about let me bring up the clock here, guys. We're about 6 minutes in. And we already. How do you guys feel about the opening there? Starting with Alex, are you a fan of when films open up kind of backwards, where we're kind of seeing somewhat of an ending and following the story how we got there?
Well, if it works for the film, I'm okay with it. But the funny thing is John Wick opened up the same way. Right. The car crashed, and then he started looking at his phone of him and his dead wife. So it's like it's kind of the same formula in the beginning. But yeah, I'm okay with it. Like I said, it is what it is. But right. It was. I liked it. It was all right.
What about you, Ken? As far as this opening that we get here, we're getting some introductions to some of our main characters. Just kind of general thoughts of the first kind of 6 or 7 minutes that we're in so far.
Yeah, I mean the whole opening with the end of the movie. That's a trope that's used a lot in the action genre. I find, but it's something that kind of makes me take pause at first because I'm like, I don't want to know the ending of the movie. Why are you showing me this? But then if it makes sense, by the end of it, then I'm cool with it. But yeah, I think this movie has a great ending, so I think it overall works with the opening. So
yeah.
Well, remember, Mission Impossible 3 started with the ending.
Yeah,
with Tom Cruise getting tortured.
Yeah,
so
it's used quite a bit.
Yeah,
and horror does it too as well.
Definitely. What about you, Jared? Are you a fan of kind of the opening of this film and kind of introducing some of these characters?
I never even thought about that whole like tropey thing of like, hey, the beginning's the end, but it's a little bit different. Because now I'm thinking the Gentleman kind of did something similar to that as well this year. I like it because the thing is you're like, okay, it's gonna lead here. How are we gonna get there? But then it usually doesn't exactly end that way. There's maybe 5 more minutes of like twists and turns and stuff.
Right.
But I mean, it very much sets like what you're gonna get or how it's gonna ramp up to that point.
No doubt. What about you, Colin? As far as this kind of opening that we're getting here with Chris Hemsworth looking like he's meeting his end, and then we're meeting these characters. Just kind of thoughts on this opening few scenes.
Yeah, when I first saw the movie, I actually really dug the beginning and everything. As far as like starting with the ending, that's a common trope in movies. Pulp Fiction does it, kind of most notably, really famous for doing that. I'm a big reader. I'm an English teacher, so it's like a common trope in books all the time where they start at the end. So it doesn't bother me at all. It's actually I really enjoy when they kind of do that, kind of fills in that gap of where we're going to lead to that moment.
Right. And we got the infamous scene here now. I don't know if you guys saw that video that went viral, that kid who jumped off the mountain and did the whole recreating the scene.
He just kept going and going and going.
I keep forgetting that this movie's getting a sequel too. Keep forgetting that.
Spoilers, man. Come on.
It's the drink.
It's a drink.
We'll definitely talk about that towards the end there. But again, we're meeting. I believe his name is Tyler Rake. We're going to talk about just kind of general ideas of action movies. But this is what do you guys think about the intro to Tyler here? Besides the flash forward scene, just kind of showing that he's a badass, kind of life on the edge, jumping off a cliff without no precautions. What do you guys think of the introduction to Tyler here? Sorry, anyone can take it, Alex.
It is a typical action movie. Like, I think Bourne Legacy started the same way with Jeremy Renner. Didn't he jump into like the frozen ocean in like the Antarctic or something, like butt naked? Like, yeah.
It's just like no one would ever do this. It's just like to show that he's a badass.
Right.
Well, and also they do a really good thing about not giving him sleeves, so you know that he's really badass.
I like the tats, tattoos. Honestly, Thor getting his haircut was the best thing that ever happened to Chris Hemsworth. he just went from like a 9.5 to like an 11, dude. That guy is extremely good looking man. But I'm big on Thor Ragnarok, dude. That haircut, dude, it just made the movie better. But yeah, man, he just looks like a badass. That beard, bro, like dude, he just looks like a freaking total tank, man.
What about you, Ken? Are you a fan of the introduction of Tyler's character, showing a little bit of like he's a troubled character? There's something there, some unhingedness to him.
Yeah, it was kind of lame, if you ask me. Kind of lame. It's very generic, you know. It's just like, I'm the action hero of this movie, and you know he's drinking a beer, and it's like, come on, dude. I don't know. It's the beginning part of this movie to me is the weakest part. Like it definitely gets better as it goes. So. Yeah, I wasn't digging it in these opening moments and with introduction.
Would you throw yourself off a cliff?
You know, I guess if I had that body, maybe. I'm not doing it in mine.
I do. One of my things I did when I was in like middle school and high school, dude, we used to, because I live on the east coast of Florida, so there's like constant like bridges everywhere from like, you know, mainland to like the east coast where I was. So we used to go bridge jumping all the time. And we'd sneak in like the rich people neighborhoods and crap and like go in there and like jump off, dude. Like it was really fun.
Hey man, we're going to jump off these rich bridges today.
Yeah, basically. I felt superior when I did it.
I bet that's dope, man.
I'd slip and hit a couple rocks on the way down.
Break your leg going down.
I just you don't think about consequences back when you were in high school, so
no.
Did someone at least test the water depth?
I think we were just so familiar with like we'd seen people do it on, you know, it's just like you're familiar. Like I lived there my whole life, and you hear about your friends doing it, so I just think it was kind of one of those things that. I never really thought about it.
Your knees just explode.
Right. Yeah. And I actually, one of them I don't think is even all that deep too. Especially now as I'm taller, and I don't know if I would do it now. But
yeah. Nice. Well, we got a interesting question here from Unboxing. This is basically Chris Hemsworth proving himself without needing that hammer. So that kind of actually leads into one of the questions I have for the panel and everyone in the chat as well. Just kind of general thoughts on Chris Hemsworth, whether it be Thor, the Ron Howard film Rush, or seeing him in a comedy like Ghostbusters or the Vacation films. Starting with, we'll mix it up this time. We'll start with Jared. What's your general thoughts on Mr. Chris Hemsworth, man?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, some people, you know, when you say that name, it's like, boom, Thor. But I remember him from Cabin in the Woods, like, all the way back then.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of my first introductions to him. But I love, like, he has a very good comedic timing. Like, you know, Thor 3 Ragnarok plays into it. But also, I mean, even though Ghostbusters wasn't great, I thought that he was fun. And then also the Vacation movie, the small bit that he was very fun as well. This movie specifically, and I don't want to, you know, steal some thunder or thoughts from you guys, but I don't think
there we go.
Oh, we're on a roll, people.
He's so funny, isn't Jared?
I didn't mean to. My brain
so
just
funny.
works.
He doesn't even know. Exactly. He doesn't even know.
I don't think he makes the movie. I think it's the action, to be honest.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
I will get to it because I think there's a particular character in this film that I would have preferred to be the lead actually than Chris Hemsworth. I found, and we'll get to it, but there's another character who's on screen right now that I thought was more interesting than Chris. Yeah. But Colin, man, just your thoughts on Mr. Hemsworth as, you know, Thor or comedies, or, you know, just your general thoughts.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth's the man. Also, I want to shout out Bad Times at El Royale. Like, criminally underrated movie. That movie's freaking rules, bro. I love that movie. Definitely some Tarantino influence, but I don't care. It's great. He's so flamboyantly fun in that movie. And then, like, his comedic timing, and he's not, you know, playing for comedy in here, so he's even showing more of his acting chops to more of a serious role, but still being that kind of whimsical in nature. But like Thor Ragnarok and then Avengers Endgame, that one line just kills me where he's like, where Chris Pratt's saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm in charge of the ship," and he's like, "Of course."
Yeah.
He's just like, "Of course," like just like whisper, bro. It's just like his timing is like impeccable, bro. It's like perfect.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's dangerously good looking.
That's the second time you've said that.
I
Do you
know.
have something you want to confirm? Or?
Dude, I'm not. I am 1 million.
He's not wrong.
Heterosexual. I'm 100% heterosexual. But if he wanted to cuddle for like 10 minutes, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you're putting a time limit on him. Putting a leash.
No doubt, no doubt. What about you, Ken? Just kind of thoughts on Mr. Hemsworth, man.
Yeah, I mean, it took a little while for me to come around on him. I guess it was probably around the Thor Ragnarok movie. I mean, that's when he really, truly broke out of his shell as that character for me, because I didn't like the first two Thor movies that much.
Yeah.
And I haven't really seen his more like dramatic efforts like Heart of the Sea or whatever, the Rush and all that. But also, like, I love Cabin in the Woods. Basically, whenever he teams with Drew Goddard, because he did Bad Times at the El Royale as well, he's incredible. Like that, he's only in Bad Times for 30 minutes, and he's easily the best part of the movie. And the performance is ridiculously good. And yeah, I mean, he's to me, he's like one of the best parts of Avengers: Infinity War, if not the best part.
Oh yeah,
he has the best scene in the entire movie where he lands in Wakanda. Yeah, I love him now. I mean, I've really turned around on him just in the last probably, I guess, couple of years.
Rent row.
Mr. Alex, man, are you a big Hemsworth fan, man?
I like him. All his roles has been good. I enjoyed him. I mean, I liked him a lot when he played Captain Kirk's father in Star Trek 1. But it was like a small role, which I was like, he should have got a bigger role, damn it. But yeah, I mean, I liked him there. I liked him in this one. I mean, like all his roles are good. He's a great universal actor. Like it looked like you could just plug him in different movies and he'll give you his stuff.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
His stuff.
Well, he wasn't big in that first Star Trek movie because I think that was the whole issue.
Because he was just started
to do Star Trek 4. Like they couldn't get those contract negotiations with him and Pine.
Well, yeah, but he's a father, so he's not even big in the universe. So that's why when they were like he wasn't coming back, I was like, who cares? Like he played the father. Yeah. Like unless
they were trying like hell to find a way for like the story to work. Though,
yeah,
like
well, because he became a big star. So
also, I want to mention too, Chris Hemsworth is a fantastic guy. He's a great father. He's super funny, really humble every time I talk to him. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah, no,
beautiful blue eyes.
Awesome. You mean these actors actually have lives?
Wants to cuddle.
Great triceps.
He's perfect.
But like, I mean, any interview you listen to him, the guy's super, super nice guy.
Yeah, he seems pretty awesome, man. But we're approaching. So right now, guys, again, for those at home watching the replay, we're at the 18-minute mark, 18 minutes, close to 30 seconds. I want us to kind of maybe dissect some of these action scenes. We'll talk about Sam Hargrove as the director, a stunt man who is directing an action film. I think translated pretty well for the action sequences. But we'll kind of, I don't know, dissect. What is that thing they do in Variety when they dissect the scene or something, whatever they call it? We'll kind of break it down because I have the action crew with me tonight. So this is our first official action sequence, guys. How do you think the setup was? You know, leading to this room full of they're very small men. I mean, these guys are extremely small compared to
no match
to Thor. But just the setup. We'll briefly talk about the setup, and then once the action hits, we'll break it down. But what do you guys think about the setup, starting with Colin?
Yeah, the setup isn't really where this movie, the story is definitely not where this movie's strengths are. So it's just like the action is where it's actually pretty unbelievable, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just your typical kind of, I don't want to say, I guess just like lower level area community, and he's
that was that was a director, by the way. If you guys didn't know what I was saying.
It looks like him.
Beard, man.
Yeah, he does have a badass beard, but yeah, man. I mean, it's fine. It's kind of where the story isn't where. It's like with McDonald's, bro. You go there because you're 4 in the morning and you want some food. You're not going there for the service, man. It's like I'm just here for a good action movie, and the story is kind of atrocious, but yeah.
What about you, Ken? Do you like this kind of setup as we about to dissect this scene here in a bit, as far as setting up the action to make Chris really show off his guns?
Yeah, I mean it's it's the same kind of scene you've seen
a
million times before. Just kind of what's getting ready to happen. You're anticipating it. It's all building up to this, and then it happens. So, like I said, like the beginning part, I think this film takes a little long to get going, but it's definitely some great action sprinkled in the beginning parts.
It's got that action movie soundtrack, the boom, like,
and we get some gun fu. I love some good old gun fu.
So that is the director that's shooting this. I didn't realize that the first time I watched it.
I really love the camera work on the action sequences, though. I will say, I think it's twists and turns. Physically, like they did a really good job, honestly.
Well, it's not necessary. You know how there's the whole like quick cutty, and then it's like, oh, it's tough to see. Like this is moving, but you're able to see everything.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
It's actually really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, John Wick. I mean, the directors from John Wick perfected that because that's what John Wick is good. Great for. Because besides that, you got Jason Bourne, where the cameras were like right up his face, and you couldn't see what the hell was going on in all those movies. But this one,
Well, I'm glad you even mentioned John Wick because, like, right when he busted in here, John Wick was doing like bust in one bullet. Like that's kind of what Hemsworth did, rather than just kind of spraying bullets. Those kind of action movies from the '90s.
Those really technical shots where it's like one in the head, one in the heart, kind of thing. It's like super precise.
Goodness gracious! Look at this brutality right now, man.
Is this why he's called Tyler Rake?
Yeah, right. That would have been a great like one-liner in the 80s, like.
The name's Rake.
That scene reminded me of that one scene in Saving Private Ryan. That one right there with the rake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one scene. We all know the scene. But
they definitely did this intentionally.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a great setup though, so you can see what his character could do.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of some character, some layers to the character as far as he has limits. The kid's pointing a gun at him.
And he can't shoot.
Come on.
Nice little.
It's sad, man. It is sad. Yeah. Countries. It's something like if you've ever seen American Sniper, they heavily like show the kind of impact on like other countries where kids are getting involved super early. And they're not ready for it, but they're like kind of almost brainwashed to like, hey, you need to die for your country, like at 7 years old or whatever.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if you guys, Beast of No Nations definitely touched on that. That's a fantastic movie. But yeah, I mean, this is the first action sequence. What would you guys, for my action experts, what would you guys rate that first action scene out of 10 guns? Starting with Jarrett there, what would you rate that first action sequence?
Out of guns. I don't know. I'll give that one a 7.
7.
It was fine, passable. I'd take it out for dinner.
This guy, man.
Hilarious, man. What about you, Ken? What would you rate the first action sequence? As we're going to get more action, but just kind of that first initial action sequence.
Since Alex hates it when I go to decimal points, I'll give it a 7.25.
Oh my
Nice.
That is so. Oh my god, that's like the price is freaking right.
It was a good opener. It was a good curtain jerker, as they would say in wrestling, for the rest of the movie.
What about you, Colin?
Yeah, actually, I'll do decimals too, but I'll be a little bit more concrete. 7.5. I actually dug the beginning of this movie. Not necessarily the setup, but like that action sequence. Like actually really impressed me. Loved how like you could see everything, but the camera was still moving. Like there was a part where they kind of hit his leg, and the camera moved with it. So they did some cool things with the camera movement. I'm impressed with that. Actually,
I totally forgot that they killed a kid. I forgot that.
Whoa. Hopefully this doesn't get demonetized.
Oh, the villain is atrocious. I forgot about him. Yeah. He's atrocious.
I totally forgot about that. But I'm sorry, what were you saying, Colin? What did you rate it? You said an 8?
Yeah, I said 7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah, it's a solid, pretty good first action sequence for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Alex?
I'll give it an 8.
8.
No damn decimal points. Just a straight 8.
We got progressively better as we went. 7, 7.25, 7.5, 8.
I'm right there with Alex. I give it an 8, man, because I'm trying to put myself in the mindset when I first saw it again. When you're watching an action sequence, you're like, okay, how is it going to be? How is it? And I thought for the first one, I thought it was pretty well done. Again, with Sam having a background as a stunt coordinator, you can tell that when he shot those action sequences. And also, I love the brutality of like Chris Hemsworth. Again, he's a big dude, so when he's punching these guys, you saw the savageness and the impact of him hitting them. So I love that kind of that realism and him kicking people and into the brickstone and all that stuff. So I like the groundedness of reality that they put in that scene. So
I mean, we could judge the Netflix movies all they want, but this is commitment. Like the budget that this movie got, the stunt work and the just actual choreography that's put into this film, it's work. I mean, the craft of this movie, I think it was actually fairly well helmed as from a directing standpoint.
Helm. Chris Hemsworth.
There you go.
No, never mind.
Oh, there we go.
I think we gotta take a drink. Whenever we have a pun, we gotta take a drink or something.
All right.
So go ahead. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a little sip there. But yeah, no, I think that Netflix definitely, I don't know what the budget of this film was, which actually goes back to a point that Colin had brought up earlier. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here in a second.
A lot of money, dude. A lot.
Yeah.
$6.
I'm convinced they work with the cartel or some type of
dude,
drug
they overspend if
triad
anything.
or something.
They overspend. So they're starting a bad trend almost where it's like, it's almost, you see it in sports all the time too. It's like, oh, let's pay this quarterback $50 million a year. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, the last guy was making 20, you know.
It was
Right.
$65 million.
This the budget.
That's not
of this
bad. That's not bad.
That's
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable for this.
Yeah, I thought it'd be over 100 for sure. 65 isn't.
Because we don't get those blockbuster, mid-budget box office movies in the theater anymore. So definitely very surprised by that number. But we were talking about
well in theaters.
Yeah. No, I don't think it would have either, to be honest. But, a little quick plug. This is on my Instagram, guys. If you want to follow me there at Movie Files. But this post was, when was this? Back in, I'm trying to see the date. I don't even know. Okay, this was back in July 16th when Netflix finally let us behind the curtains when they dropped their top 10 most watched films, and we see Extraction at 99 million viewerships was watching this film, Bird Box. So just kind of general thoughts on this list, starting with Ken. Top 3, top 5, have you seen all these films? Just kind of idea, did you expect this to be the list here as far as most watched Netflix films?
I mean, I'm actually surprised that the Platform made it on there. That was a very obscure film from earlier this year. But yeah, and I didn't know Extraction actually beat Bird Box. I thought Bird Box was number 1. But I haven't seen all of these. I'd say out of all of them, I like Triple Frontier quite a bit. And Extraction and The Irishman, I guess, probably the 3 best for me on there.
Nice. What about you, Alex? Are you surprised by this list? Is there one that you really like more than the others?
To be honest with you, I seen Extraction, The Irishman, The Six Underground. I shut it off after 10 minutes. I
didn't get into that one.
Same.
I'm just gonna be really honest. I couldn't take it, and every time Ryan Reynolds opens his mouth, I think of Deadpool. So I couldn't even take it anymore. I was like, all right, off. The Platform, me and Ken watched it, and I was like, what the hell is this crap? And I'm just gonna be honest.
One of the first movies I made him watch for the show.
He did, and I was like, what did you do to me? Honestly, I wasn't surprised with Extraction being number 1, to be honest with you. It was Thor, and it was an action movie. So people were fiending for something new. So I kind of figured it was gonna be 1.
Yeah. And then also, too, it came out, like I believe it was April, and it was literally a month before or after the theaters had got shut down. So people were really excited for it. So definitely lightning in the bottle. What about you, Jared? As far as go ahead.
I'm sorry. The Irishman, I could have gave it a higher. I could have said, "Oh my god, this is amazing," but it was 3 hours, and I was like, "Holy hell, this is a way long movie." Like, I'm not saying it was a horrible movie. It was a good movie, but damn, I was like, it was this or Endgame. I was like, geez, this is a long ass movie.
I'd forgotten about that movie too. Like, I don't even remember what happened at the end. I don't know what it was about that movie. It was really good when I saw it, but it's so forgettable now.
Yeah,
it was so long that while I got to the end, I completely forgot how it started. Like,
I totally agree. I totally agree with if you ask me right now, what's the plot of the movie? I would say, well, it has 3 big mob actors. Like, okay,
every scene is Joe Pesci coming in. He's like, we got to get rid of him. Like every scene.
He only got 1 page of the script, and it was just that line.
He was literally like, we got to get rid of him. He's a nice guy, but we got to get rid of him. Every scene he said that.
And then Al Pacino is like, Al Pacino wants his like seat back. It's like, oh man. Yikes.
That's funny. What about you, Colin, as far as this list here?
Yeah, man, this is like, I mean, there's a couple hits on here that I liked, but I mean, the wrong Missy being on here is just a crime against humanity. The fact that how dumb people are that they actually watched that movie and didn't look at the trailers and think it.
Hey, I I gotta speak
Hey,
up.
they
For Ron Misty.
interviewed-
We actually got
they
to
interviewed-
interview an actress that
That's
was on that
dope.
show, so she
That's
was really
dope.
cool for being on there.
Yeah.
I gave the movie a scathing review on my Instagram, and she commented,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm so I forget what the heck she said. I'm sorry you didn't like the film or something." And then she DM'd me on there, "Hey, do you want to interview me or something?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh
sure."
my God.
Was it the main actress?
No, it was not the
Oh.
main actress.
It was the wife, right, of the boss.
Yeah, the wife of the boss. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the whole list is like I said, it's like the stuff that you expect. Bird Box is that movie. That's insane. That it's funny how certain things are hits on Netflix and some aren't. Like Paul Rudd had a show where he's playing two different people, these clones. Nobody talked about it. It's like, dude, it's Paul Rudd.
That was a great show. I watched it.
And it was a great show. The first season was fantastic. And then you have like just random stuff on here. It's like, oh, that was a hit. Like that's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like that whole list isn't super impressive to me, personally. But
Murder mystery.
What about you, Derek? Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I actually had a little fun with that film, considering that that's like the best Adam Sandler Netflix original film. Because if you compare that to like The Ridiculous Six and some of those other trash films, that's like old school Adam Sandler to a certain extent. But what about you, Jared? As far as this list here, any surprises for you?
Well, I'm glad you brought up Ridiculous Six, because for a long time that was the most watched on Netflix, and I was just like, how? Like this movie is literally unwatchable. Funny thing about Murder Mystery, I watched that twice in the same day because I watched it to review, and then later that night my girlfriend and her parents wanted to watch it, so I was like, okay, we'll watch it again. These movie titles don't really surprise me, I guess, because it's kind of like every time you turn on Netflix, what's on the homepage? What are they promoting? And if you do ever do some research, what a watch is in the terms of Netflix is insane. It's only 2 minutes. If you watch 2 minutes of a movie, it counts as a watch.
Yeah.
And we all know
it's crazy.
You can literally have your screen on for 2 seconds in a trailer, and it plays the movie. So some people that like by default.
Yeah. If you fall asleep, if you're doing some hand stuff, like the trailer's gonna play of the next movie, you know. So it's just.
And some of these movies cost some of The Irishman was so much money because all the effects on the actors, and it's just like they basically lose money on every single movie that they ever make, and because they're basically just building up a resume of kind of getting that clout that, oh, we can make Oscar movies, or we can make like some solid like catalog of films, that they're not even really thinking, but they don't care that they're Netflix, so we don't care if we lose money, because it's not like they have ads on their movies, so they're not making ad revenue off it. The only thing they're relying on is more subscribers to subscribe for Extraction or The Irishman. But now at this point, everyone's got Netflix anyway, so who isn't subscribed to Netflix? And then and a lot of times people be like, oh, I want to see the new Extraction. Hey, mom, can I borrow the Netflix password? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and there are billions and billions of dollars in debt, and I don't think it's a shocker that they put a lot of money into their films, usually high budget movies, and then they don't go to the box office. They don't make any money, really.
Yeah, it's a weird business strategy, man. I don't know how they make a profit, like you guys said, rather than outside of subscription based. But as we all know, we all have friends that have Netflix, and we log into their stuff. So it's weird, man. But they're still chucking out these big blockbuster movies. So I think
it's just to build up a reputation of being like serious contenders, honestly.
Well, it's just weird when it comes to streaming platforms that are publicly traded companies. You would think that they would have to give all of the viewing numbers and the subscription numbers and stuff, but they don't. They just have financials.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. I'm telling you, drug cartel.
I know.
The triads, the mafia. They're into some funky stuff, man. I don't know. But for those in the chat, thank you guys again for tuning in to the first ever Guy at the Movies Film Festival. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure to set your calendars for some other great events they have lined up this weekend. But again, those that watching at home now and watching on the replay, we are at the 35-minute mark. This is, I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite scenes. I love car action sequences, so this is just phenomenal. But yeah, again, guys, we're at the 35-minute mark and about to watch a beautiful one-take car chase sequence, which I thought was really cool.
It felt like a video game. Right? Like you're just.
This is Call of Duty, man.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a good call.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that, but
I take Uncut Gems wasn't good. Oh, okay.
What?
Get out of here.
Well, you, sir, can suck it.
No, these are actually, basic cinephiles, two ladies
I'm
that
kidding,
actually run
I'm
that
kidding.
account.
This is
They're
a
great.
Hey now.
Going out of the car and then back in, that was a great
Yeah.
shot.
I
And
agree
the thing
about
is,
that.
okay, when I first watched this, I had no clue it was a one take until everyone started saying it was, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it just flowed." I thought it was just a movie, you know, but now rewatching it, it's like, "Oh
I
wow."
think it's almost good if we don't notice it's a one take. That means we're
Mhm.
so invested
So invested in it.
in
Yeah,
what's happening. Like certain things that would be like, oh, that was all done in one take. I remember Creed had a one take boxing scene. I was so
Yeah.
invested in it, I didn't even realize it was one take.
You know, one takes it works for certain films. Halloween had a one take when
Yep.
he was walking in the street,
Yeah.
and then he went
Into
in
the garage.
Yeah, so like it works. Like this works perfectly. Car chasing.
This is great. Yeah, one of my favorite one takes is Reservoir Dogs right before he cuts off the cop's ear.
Mhm.
There's like a whole like 3 or 4 minutes of him tracking with that character, and this is this is honestly really good. This action sequence.
The first time I seen a one take was date myself, but it was during one of the X-Files seasons, and it was awesome because the camera followed Scully right from her office all the way, took the elevator, went all the way upstairs, and then you saw the bad guy coming. She took it, so it was like all in one shot, and you saw it. It was like a cool flow if you could catch it. It's one of the episodes in like season 9. It was really good.
It makes you wonder how they even pull this stuff off. A lot of practical effects too.
Yeah.
Well, this is all like this would just frustrate me from timing because everything has to work.
Did you hear
perfectly.
Did you hear the joke from I can't remember what actor it was, but they were saying that Benedict Cumberbatch was sitting there for like 2 days at the end of 1917. He was waiting for them. And then afterwards, I think he like messed up his first line. They were joking,
like,
and then they had
reset.
to start the whole movie. They had to re-record the whole thing.
That's funny.
And Mission Impossible Fallout had the one shot when Tom Cruise is running after Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, at the end, yeah. I thought
when he's chasing him before he gets to the.
Speaking of Netflix, I know you'll remember this movie, Files, because you're a horror fan. You like the show, but The Haunting of Hill House had one of the best one-take episodes. That I've ever
the
seen
funeral
with the
all that.
funeral home. Yeah, that was very, very.
No, it wasn't. Stop lying.
It was great.
It was one of the best. It was one of the best in history, Alex.
No! Stop with that history shit.
He's gonna give it a 9.25.
9.26-789.
I will say I actually like the color grading of this movie. Yeah. I think I like the actual like cinematography and look to it.
That sepia.
Like, man, the problems with this movie is the writing. I mean, the actual look of it and the direction, especially for a guy who was a stunt double, it's pretty impressive, honestly.
The thing is, if you didn't have anyone talk and just this for 40 minutes, I'm okay with it.
This is a music video, basically.
Yeah.
Just like a silent film. It cuts off and you see like whatever he says and it cuts right back.
Yep. You know what? I like that. That
would be awesome, right?
Someone re-edit this.
We'll be like, where's the child? And it cuts right
who's like the most famous like silent film actor in the world? What's his name again?
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, he should have been in this movie. Charlie Chaplin.
Chapman.
Yeah, that one too.
Deep fake his face into the film.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is we've got an interesting conversation going on in the chat. I'm just wondering what the hot takes are. Some people are talking about the Irishman and Uncut Gems. Just kind of around. Just curious, what you guys' thoughts? Which one do you like more, Irishman or Uncut Gems?
Oh man, that's hard. If I had to pick, it would be Uncut Gems because it's not 3 hours long.
Oh no, that guy's neck.
That was great. Yeah, Uncut Gems all the way, man. I don't think it's even close. Uncut Gems is like a movie theater experience like no other. Just white knuckled experience.
This is very John Wick.
Yeah,
this is great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is fantastic.
Yep, I agree. What about you, Ken? Did you have a preference between Uncut Gems and?
I mean, it's Uncut Gems by like 3 miles, man. There's no contest. I saw that movie in the theaters, and it was such an experience because I was in there with a bunch of people that clearly went to see an Adam Sandler movie for different reasons. It was very interesting walking out, hearing those conversations. Yeah, that was great.
So quotable too, dude. I disagree, Gary. I disagree.
What about you, Jarrett? Do you have a favorite between the two, man?
I mean, I wouldn't say favorite, but I'd watch Uncut Gems over The Irishman. Irishman, I could start it today and maybe finish it by Christmas because it's such a long movie. Uncut Gems, though, yeah, people in my theater thought it was very much going to be an Adam Sandler movie and walked out, did not like it.
Did they watch the trailer?
I don't know. I think that they were just like, hey, look. I mean, we're all in the know.
Yeah.
You have to kind of look at this stuff from a point of view of the casual. So I could see them being like, oh, okay, well, it looks maybe like a little darker thing. Maybe he'll throw in some flair. Yeah, they didn't.
I saw it the day after Christmas, and it was packed like it was a Marvel movie or something in there.
Man,
I put off watching it too because I remember I was like tired that day. So I was like, all right, I'll see the 5. Oh no, I'll see the 8. Oh, okay, I'll see the 10:30. So I saw it at 10:30 with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, dude, I can't believe I didn't watch that movie sooner.
Yeah. It's a great. I'm gonna go with Uncut as well.
Did you see how he loaded the gun?
Yeah,
He just went right into the vest, cocked it one arm, and just shot him like 8,000 times on a 16 round.
And it's not one take, but now it kind of is. It's still one take kind of mode right now. This is it right here. They jump. Both of them jump. Yeah.
I think that kid was thrown. I don't think he jumped.
Yeah, I think he flung him.
This is where you really see that Marvel influence from the director.
Mm-hmm.
This is like almost straight out of Civil War.
Yeah, he's dealing with a child abuse claim right now.
We're gonna have to cancel.
Well, I mean, there's a rooftop chase scene in Civil War, like Winter Soldier.
Yep.
I just love how the Russo brothers are using their kind of Avengers alumni in the movies.
Tom Holland, Chris Evans, and
Chris. They got a new movie coming up with the guys that wrote the movies too. Yeah, no, not that one. There's a new one that they're developing. That one too, yeah. But
Chris
they're
Evans.
actually going to be directing. Yeah, Chris Evans. Yeah.
And Ryan Gosling film.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, the one with the white tees and the gold necklaces.
Yeah, that's going to be on Netflix as well. Which is that, dude? I don't know if I'm more pumped for a movie like that.
Talk about 211s right there. You got Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. Jesus.
Give me a whew.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling is he's a good looking guy for sure.
What's going on, Eve? How we doing tonight?
I love how they fight and everyone is driving along.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? It's like it's a regular day.
Normal day. It's just a normal day.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is I think if it happened in America, people would stop. This is just, like you said, just daily whatever. I'm going on with my day.
I'm posting. Yeah, it would be.
This is in the Middle East, right? I'm guessing. Just by the look of the town and shit.
Chicago. I love this fight sequence.
The little hint of Winter Soldier a little bit,
So I love that they're not like in
Excuse me, gotta go.
Breathe. They're tired.
Well, and also just the way that they're holding the knives is completely different. Their fighting style is completely different.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Look at that camera moving too. It's moving kind of down with you. I like it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nutcracker.
Yeah, this camera. Oof.
See, now he gets hit by a car. And this is the problem that I have with some action movies. John Wick got hit by a car. He gets up and he still fights like 8 dudes. Like, if no car hit him before. And I'm like, come on.
Hey, man, they got to have some, some fantasy elements going on there. Some unbelievable moments.
Yeah, I'm a big defender of the Fast and Furious movies. I get it.
We'll talk about Fast.
We don't have to talk about those abominations of
film. Greatest franchise ever.
I'll bring my Blu-ray collection over here, bro. I'm like the biggest defender of those movies.
We'll talk about
they're so great. They're so
Colin,
great.
you don't have to defend them because they are gold.
They're amazing. They're hilarious. They're amazing. They're fun. I laugh my ass off and have a great time.
Yeah, man, same here. So what do we think about correct me if I'm wrong, Saja, I think it's the character's name that we're seeing on the screen now. What do you guys think about this character here?
Straight up badass, yo.
Yeah, he's good.
Colin. Hot take?
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about the kid?
The guy right now that's saving the kid just got hit by
the guy that got hit by a fucking truck.
I love that.
I thought you were talking about the kid. The kid's he's okay.
The kid's just there.
He's there.
Yeah.
He's a MacGuffin. Like he literally is.
Yeah,
he's a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what he is. There we go. We got that's Sam Hargrave's track. Like the in the car shot. It's gonna be like next.
You can tell once he does his next film, he is going to have like signature Sam Hargrave moments.
A lot of style to this movie. A lot of style.
Hey man, I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel hits him up for something. Maybe a Blade film, maybe a.
Ooh, don't even get those ideas rolling.
Did they say who's filming Blade? Did they give a director?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to break the internet, whoever they decide.
Yeah, like I said, the directing is actually really strong on this movie.
I agree.
The directing is actually incredibly impressive.
Well, I mean, that's a perfect segue, Colin, because I had a question in here. What are you guys' thoughts on Mr. Hargrave, man? Just thoughts starting with Colin, if you want to finish it up, man. What's your thoughts on him, his directorial debut?
I'm incredibly impressed with what he was doing, especially kind of like, I guess, the lack of experience. I don't know. But, like, I mean, I'm a writing guy. I think, like, storytelling, characters, character arcs, I think I think a script is so important for a movie. And I think that's why I went negative on the movie because the story didn't work for me. But, like, him as a director, everything looks practical. It looks like, well choreographed, well shot. He gets it because he was inspired by a lot of action movies growing up. He actually was a stunt double for Chris Evans and was the stunt coordinator for Avengers Endgame and stuff. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to action. Like you said, like a Blade movie. I don't know if they're gonna, because this kind of like the Marvel the thing they're gonna do, if they're gonna have a person of color kind of direct that movie or something like that. But if not, he would be a great choice in my opinion, especially from the action perspective. Just get a guy to write a good script, and I think he'll be really good.
I don't know. I think for Blade, I'm sorry, but they have to get a vampire to direct that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It's only right.
Is Dracula still available? You think Dracula would be able to?
Nosferatu. You need someone older. You need Nosferatu.
Yes. What's he been up to?
What he's been up to?
Just hanging out, chill. But and also, Colin, just to kind of go back to our theme of rating the action sequences, and then we'll go to Jared on your thoughts on Sam and give your rating. But what would you rate that car sequence, that street hand-to-hand combat fight, just kind of encompassing? Starting with Colin, what would you rate that last scene that we got there, man?
Yeah, I'll probably give it like a solid 8.5 because I think the second half is as interesting as the first, but the knife fight is pretty cool too. So 8.5. I think it's pretty solid.
Okay. Well, yeah, same question for you, Jared, in regards to the director, and then your rating on that last action sequence.
What was the question about the director again?
Just thoughts on Sam Hargrave, his directorial debut.
Sorry, I'm mush mouthing over here. I mean, as his debut, because this is his debut feature length, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is a great first outing. Again, you can tell that there's some things that aren't as strong. The in between the action is, obviously that I'm pointing out. But I don't know. It's fun. It's a blockbuster summer action movie essentially. Mm-hmm. As for that action scene, again, I had no clue it was a one shot until after the fact, and then rewatching it now, I'd give it like a 9. I mean, I know that there's some that people praise much higher, but like, it's so much fun to watch it go from car to gun to fist to knife to getting smashed by vehicles, back to gun and running away onto rooftops. Like, it pretty much encompasses everything action related. There's everything, car chases and foot chases and a guy with a helmet getting punched in the head that I laughed about earlier because the sound effect that was like dink.
2 people getting hit by cars.
Yeah.
No doubt. Ken, what about you as far as his directorial debut, and then what would you rate that last action sequence, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, to go from stunt coordinator to director, I thought he did a phenomenal job in the film. I look forward to seeing what he does next, and he definitely put his stamp on it. As far as the action scene, man, I'll be honest. I'm sitting here like I couldn't even take my eyes off the screen. So if you can do that for me, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, I thought it was a perfect action sequence. It's so good, in fact, it almost ruins the entire rest of the movie because they never live up to that scene again.
They never live up to
They run the credits right there.
Film.
Not one time.
So that would be my only problem with it. But yeah, it's an excellent scene. Excellent.
Alex, same for you, my friend. Thoughts on his directing of this film so far, as well as your rating for the last action set piece?
In terms of directing, I think a lot of stunt coordinators should become directors.
I agree.
They understand the action sequences more than normal directors, I guess you want to say, because they live through the shoes doing the scenes, so they know what to look for. Right. They're just like Chad and David Lynch, right? Those two were stunt guys that did the John Wick series. Yeah, so I think he's excellent. And he needs to have another body of work. I want to see some other project besides something from Netflix. I want to see some other one that he's attached to. But I think he's excellent in terms of the action sequence. I think it's a great sequence. I mean, I love my action sequences, so that one's just a straight. You know, he would be a great director for a Bourne movie.
If they bring
if they bring it back, he'll be an excellent person to, if they do a reboot or whatever they want to do with the character. I think he'll be great for a Jason Bourne type.
I think we all want him to direct a live action Disney remake. I mean, come on.
Oh yes,
which one would it be though?
Notre Dame or something? What's a good action?
Hercules, man, come on.
Hercules. Did they do that
Great
already?
Mouse Detective.
The Great
There we go.
Oh, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Now that hand-to-hand combat with Chip and Dale.
He does have an energy to him. I feel like people like to work for him.
Yeah.
I've seen like some interviews with him and stuff. So
nice.
I think he's a good guy to have on set for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think he's to answer the question. I think he's a really good outing for the first time director. You can tell he learned from the Russos, learned from being on set. You know, because the thing is too, they direct those action sequences, so they're essentially directors themselves. They're second AD, second team directing. So definitely kind of learn from that. And as far as that score on the action, that blew me away. That's the best scene in the film to me. So I give it a 10 out of 10. Like Ken, I really enjoyed that. It's pretty phenomenal.
And the Russos do got great shots in their movies too. Winter Soldier to me is still the best action sequences.
I gotta ask you guys, if that wasn't a 10 out of 10, like what is? Like what is a 10 out of 10 to me?
I'm shocked that you gave it a 10 out of a 10 because I already know you got your decimal point all over the place.
Movie. Like I give it a 10.2.
You're like, well, you know, it's not my taste, but I'm gonna give it a 9.25. Okay.
Well, why did I sound like Mr. Mackey there?
I don't know why, but
I mean, the John Wick movies, like, or you know what is the Daredevil hallway fight?
Yes,
my God, that is like the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Besides Chris Hemsworth, of course. But no, for real, like.
Those eyes, right?
This guy's crazy.
Eyes, man.
This guy's cuckoo cuckoo, man.
I can't watch it.
Well, no, I don't.
Don't look away! Don't do it! Oh no!
I don't like this stuff, bro. I don't like
ankle
Did he
break.
Sneeze there? What happened?
I can't do that stuff. I love horror. As Ken, can you stand those scenes when people get their
can't.
broken?
The fingernails, you know when they pull out the fingernails? I can't. Even Terminator. Wasn't Terminator 1 when Arnold's in the bathroom
with the eyeball?
He takes off the eyeball out.
Yeah. Worst CGI sequence.
Kill Bill when she steps on the eyeball. Oh God, it's gross.
Yeah, certain things I could handle, but there's others that I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I vomited like every scary scene in Midsommar, bro. I was like, oh God, naked people, naked old people.
You didn't like an old woman touching another man's naked ass?
I was very close to jumping on board, but it just couldn't do it for me.
It just went too far. That's funny. God. But we got unboxing with another. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kev.
I'm good until we get to like movies like The Human Centipede. Like that's where I draw the line.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That and like the Terrifier to me. I like those are my limits.
Oh yeah, God. Did you see that?
I can't get into Saw movies either, even though I heard the first one's good, but.
So what do you think about this question here, guys? I'll bring up a list of Chris Hemsworth films, but Unboxing says, what are your top 5 favorite Chris Hemsworth movies? And I guess we can maybe put
top 5?
The Thor movie.
5.
But yeah, I'll start with what about you, Jared? What you got? I'm gonna bring up a list here.
Yeah, you might have to bring up a list for me because again, I'm sure he's done some obscure stuff that I'm like not aware of.
It's hard when you ask that because it's like top 5 performances or movies because could be in a movie for 5 minutes, but the movie's
also
amazing,
wasn't he or someone in that like random Crocodile Dundee reboot or so. I don't know.
Oh, that was like I think a spoof in a Super
okay.
Bowl.
That
Yeah.
okay.
We'll go with Chris Hemsworth led films centered around him. So we won't like Star Trek and all this
All right,
stuff.
so no cameos.
Yeah, just like
Technically.
leading
Okay.
him.
Can we still do Avengers?
He's not leading the film.
Thor, you can. Thor, you can.
Infinity War, he's kind of
The lead character.
Yeah. We'll exclude Infinity War. Just Chris Hemsworth led films where he's the headliner. So your Thors,
Okay, there you go.
your Red Dawn. What else do we have here?
Black Hat, baby.
Black Hat was terrible. I hated Black Hat. Thor Ragnarok. So yeah, I mean, here's his
Oh
list.
God, I completely forgot he was in Men in Black International.
I've never seen it.
I didn't see it either.
Do
I
it.
didn't see it either. But what about you, Colin? This list here, as far as Kristen, what's your top?
Definitely. I don't know if I even have like a definitive.
I know,
Some of these,
yeah.
it's like I don't even know if I've seen a lot of these movies, and the top two are easily Bad Times at El Royale and Thor Ragnarok. I think.
Okay.
I mean, Bad Times at El Royale is just a phenomenal movie, and then Thor Ragnarok's great. We mentioned some of the Avengers movies, and I think Infinity War. Him and Doctor Strange, I think, steal that movie.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you,
I don't know if
Jared?
I have a top five.
What about you, JB?
I actually surprisingly really enjoy Rush. That's one movie that a lot of people I don't think have really seen. Yeah, I like that one. I don't know necessarily if that's the best. Again, Bad Times, I really like him, but he's very much like a very small part of that movie. Yeah, I'd probably say Ragnarok or Rush.
Okay. Got
Did you see Bad Times, Jared?
Yeah.
What about you, Ken?
I mean, I know he's not a big part of the movie, right? But he's like one of the most important parts of Bad Times at the El Royale. So that I would put that as my number one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go Thor Ragnarok and Cabin in the Woods, Avengers Infinity War, and then Extraction.
Gotcha. What about you, Alex?
I haven't seen as many films with him in it, so I will say Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
The Huntsman one. I mean, it wasn't as great, but I thought he was okay in it.
Which one? The first one? The second
Yeah,
one?
the first one. The first one.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one. No cameos. I think that's pretty much it for me.
I like how he stabs him and then he just gut punches him halfway across.
Get these bitch ass kids out of the
Yeah.
way, bro.
Or that guy.
Tossing these kids around. But this is a good scene too. So let me look at this list here. I'm gonna say number.
I'm surprised
Five.
nobody picked Ghostbusters.
Don't
Alex?
start me, Ken. Do not start me going. Don't get that engine running.
Bro, I love Ghostbusters 2. No, I'm just kidding.
I
That's
I'll
one
go
of the triggers.
Thor, Extraction, Rush.
He slapped him.
Bad Time.
God.
The number one, yeah, Thor Ragnarok is probably my favorite Chris Hemsworth film.
Man, nothing's better than a badass man bitch slapping another man.
Love it.
You know what's weird about the second Thor movie is it upgrades in a lot of aspects from that first one, but then the execution and like the drab nature and just the lack of style or flavor to it just make it so boring, and then the villain's so bad. But like the actual like they kind of like there's more Thor action, there's more Asgard. No Dutch angles anymore. So they upgrade on some stuff, but then it's somehow a worse movie, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, Alan, I
actually
believe it was
like
Alan.
it better than the first one.
Which
Really?
one?
First Thor.
Yeah, I like Thor Dark World better than Thor. I don't really like either one of them, but I like Dark World better.
Oh no, the first one.
In certain aspects, it's better, but
I
just
can't
think
stand the chemistry between him and Natalie Portman. It's just
it's
so
bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. I'm so like not looking forward to her coming back. Honestly, I think female Thor is such a dumb idea.
I
I'm
think
gonna,
Taika
Whoa.
will make it happen, but
gonna surprise a lot of us, man. Because I think, I was gonna say Taika. I think Natalie
Yeah, I mean
Portman
that's
is a good
confidence.
director out of her.
Yeah.
Big
I'm
blockbuster.
not a big fan of person saying this is the female this or this is the male this or this is. I just like no, that's Thor. She's Jane Foster. She wants to become her own superhero. She can do that. I don't care about what the comic said. I'm just basing it objectively on that. I'm not a big fan of that personally.
She's pretty cool. Lady Thor is pretty badass. I'll say she's a really cool
Sure,
character.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it in the comments. Yeah.
Awesome. She is pretty awesome. But and again, I'll bring it up again for those watching at home, those watching on the replay. We are an hour into this film with 57 minutes to go. What are you guys' thoughts right now? This is when the film kind of gets a little downhill. We got Hopper here from Stranger Things making his appearance. I totally forgot that he was even in this film until
Tasted.
Well, this was kind of a big surprise, really, because I didn't know he was in it at all, and it was almost like they were trying to keep it from everybody. I don't know if he was in the trailer. I don't remember watching the trailers, but
yeah, maybe they were trying to make people forget that he was in Hellboy 2019.
Dude, that was just
like that?
huge letdown. I was so hyped, and that movie burnt me.
I didn't even watch it.
Man.
I skipped it.
Is that another pun? Can we count that as another pin?
We'll count it. We'll count it. Ding! I hit the dinger.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
That one really burned me.
Burned me, and it's a hell character.
Okay.
Okay. Drink.
Yeah, drink.
Oh my god! Now I'm getting like
Neil Marshall directed that movie. The guy who directed one of the best horror movies of the 21st century, The Descent.
Yeah, sir.
So let me down.
That scene with the what was it? The orcs when he's running. Oh my god, I was so
my
mad.
goodness.
Yeah.
Colin, I gotta know, Colin, how's that Long Island, man?
Yeah, how is it? Because you're turning red.
I can't see you guys. What are you doing? No, I'm fine.
Starting to slur your words there.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing okay, man. It's getting a little diluted at the end. That last sip I had was a little rough. It doesn't taste as good as it did.
Here's something here. Taika Waititi, been a vampire. Maybe he can handle Blade.
No,
I would not. I love Taika, but I would not.
Yeah,
Like,
Taika was amazing. But no.
what I'm imagining Blade to be is like this very grounded but very dark and like action-packed type movie. So I don't think his sensibilities would work too well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Would you think Blade would be like in the style of like how the Batman came out?
Ooh,
with Blade.
Not that dark. It's Disney. Not that dark.
Dude, give me it that dark. That's what
I know it's Disney, but I'm just saying like if I was trying to get someone to make the Blade movie, I think I will go down that route because I think it will work more than the way we're going with the the Avengers, all that popping colors and happy joy.
No, fully 100% what you're saying, because that's what the character is, and I think that they're trying to get away from that happy, colorful with some of these newer characters in these later phases, or at least hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, the Batman looks like David Fincher directed it. I mean, like, it's so freaking dark, that trailer.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying I don't think, if I had to do a prediction, I just think.
So we say, I think it was Alex that said it. I think you guys all said it, as far as like it's Disney, so we don't expect. But I mean, we talked about Winter Soldier. That's not a light Disney film.
No,
I mean, Endgame isn't a light Disney film. I mean, literally the half the planet, disappears. So I think we give Disney a little bit when we say it's I think they can get dark, and I think this next
they can get dark, but there's still that gloss to it. Whereas like there's no gloss on the Batman. It's like straight up like serious murder mystery thriller, Well, like at least it looks that way. Whereas like Avengers Endgame still got the jokes, still got Hulk dabbing. It's very still.
Well, no, I totally agree with you. Go ahead, Ken.
Look at Rogue One from Star Wars. Like that movie's very dark by the end.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty about having the DC and the Marvel. Whereas DC is just straight dark. Whereas Marvel, you already saw their films. They're not even. You haven't seen it as dark as where DC went.
Yeah, unless you're talking about the Joel Schumacher Batmans.
Yeah, that's like the only colorful one that we have. So.
that was a whole different.
Thank God for those movies. We got the Nolan Batman movies because of those.
And we got one of the best on-screen Banes from that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Where you juiced him full of I don't even know, liquid of some sort.
So
hit
we
a
are.
button and he juiced up.
He was full of air.
Do we even know the villain's name here? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. As far as like we talked about the action being the thing you remember most about it, but these quieter moments, which kind of brings me to my next question. So Joe Russo wrote this film, which is the one without the glasses. Is Joe Russo. So when we have these quieter character moments, just kind of what are you guys' thoughts as Joe Russo wrote this film? I know, Colin, you bring up writing a lot. If you want to take this question first, as far as the writing for this film, what do you think about it, man? As far as Joe Russo,
yeah, I mean Joe Russo. I mean, big fan, man, and also he does some cameos in a lot of Marvel movies. Technically, I guess he was the first gay character in a Marvel movie. Interestingly
In the
enough,
whole
maybe
universe, he was the first.
maybe in MCU, yeah, I guess at least shown as like a kind of a
shown.
And then I guess maybe Valkyrie was bisexual. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with his writing in this movie. I mean, he's clearly a talented guy, and he says a lot of times that they like writing themselves into corners, like basically having a script be so almost narrow to the point where they have to work around a script that's kind of almost complicated to where they have to get creative with their direction. And I think Sam Hargrave did a good job. I don't think they wrote themselves in a corner necessarily in this movie, but I think he definitely lived up to the task of directing a script that wasn't great, so to speak. But I just think I don't think he's like a terrible writer or anything. I think it was one of those things where he just thought this is a schlocky Netflix action movie that's kind of like a B movie. I mean, the movie's called Extraction. Like, what is that? Like,
gotta get him out of there.
It's like the most like old school kind of like early 2000s like straight to DVD action movie, except for it's done pretty well from an action perspective and directing. So, but the writing is just not strong at all. These quieter moments, it just puts me to sleep. Honestly, I saw it kind of early in the morning and I was kind of bored.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Jared? As far as your thoughts on Joe Russo and writing the action set pieces, but in these quieter moments, is it the acting? Is it the lack of oomph in the story? Lack of stakes, character development? What's kind of your issues with it, if there are any issues with his writing for you personally?
Well, I'm trying to think. Has he done much of anything else aside from kind of some Marvel stuff?
He did a movie in '96 called Pieces, and then he did another film. I mean, no, not really. His writing.
Was he in charge of 21 Bridges?
Yes, they were producers.
Okay. Oh, producers.
They didn't write it. The only writing credits he has is 97 Pieces, 2002, Welcome to Collinwood, and then Extraction are his only writing credits.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it works, but then this movie, the action overshadows everything. And like you had just brought up, or someone else on the panel, what are the names of these characters? No one really knows, and I don't think it really matters because it's like you're watching this guy go in, he's a generic guy, army guy, getting this person out of this place against bad guys. Like, it's not a too in-depth movie. The action is what's, the intrigue here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with me is like story over pretty much everything. Like some people watch this like schlocky action movie, don't care about the story, don't care about the names, it's fine. Like a movie, this is my hottest take I've ever said. I've gotten so super criticized. I hate Mad Max Fury Road with the Fire of a Thousand Suns. I know it's a hot take, but it's because the story is it's atrocious. There's no story. People say that's not what the Mad Max movies are, and that's fine. A lot of people feel that way. They're like, hey, the people are saying like, hey, that's the Mad Max movies are. That's just there's no story. You jump right in. You don't know the context for what's happening, and it's amazingly awesome action sequences, and that's fine. You can enjoy it, but I have to have story. Like a movie, a movie's not a movie without a story. So
yeah, Mad Max is like the wrong franchise for you for stories, man. Because that story.
This isn't to put Colin on the spotlight. I'm just curious, but Fast and Furious movies versus
that has no story. And he loves him.
I get that. Okay, you're not the first person to say this to me. There's a self-awareness too. And first of all, there's also a level of self-awareness in the camaraderie of those Fast and Furious movies. There's like the cheat, the family, and you connect. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Paul Walker's death made me connect to those movies more. That really was a celebrity death that really hit me hard, and just like that ending of Furious 7 when they separate. That's just like it's beautiful for a Fast and Furious movie. It's truly like makes me shed a tear every time I see it. So like, I think like the story isn't like intricate in how it goes about things, but there's a story there where there's context for the scene. Like, okay, there's a bad guy, there's government thing. We need the Fast and Furious people to come in and do their thing. Mad Max Fury Road, you literally, I'm watching action. I'm like, okay, this is gorgeously shot. I have no idea what's happening. People are spray painting their teeth. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Whereas like Fast and Furious, I can follow. It's stupid. Yeah. It's not as well directed probably as Fast and Fury Road, but it's just kind of that camaraderie, that family kind of feel, the self-awareness, whereas Mad Max Fury Road is taking itself so seriously, almost to a self-indulgent. And I get it. People love the movies. That's fine. I'm not hating on people. I understand why they like it. But that's why Extraction worked for a lot of people and didn't me, because they're like, hey, it's a schlocky action movie, no story. I need story in my movie.
I totally get it. But the reason why they were spraying their faces because the guy was like mind fucking them, telling them that they will go to Valhalla if they sacrifice themselves.
That just wasn't like, I don't think, maybe on multiple rewatches that's like that message has come across, but just like that first initial watch is just like it just goes right by.
The more you're talking about it, I'm just curious why there's an abundance of silver spray paint in the post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
man.
Yeah.
I've started a movement. I'm just gonna say I started a movement because a lot of people, come to me and be like, "Hey, dude, it's not that great of a movie. Thank you for kind of saying that." I'm like daily, I get someone like, "Dude, I finally saw Mad Max Fury Road. It's not that good." I was like, "Yeah, I know, it's not that good."
You know what it is?
I started a cult.
Those type of movies has an acquired taste. Some people will enjoy it for the apocalyptic style of shooting and all the Mel Gibson version, which I personally love. But then there's other ones that want to go in and dissect.
Well, and we contradict ourselves all the time on our movie opinions. One of my, I said I needed story, but then I loved Greyhound this year. I know you weren't high on that film, Elliot, but I loved the just simple story, not much character development there, but it just went right to the event. But it was also an hour and a half long, so there's some forgivable elements that you can do with that. So I really enjoyed Greyhound in that aspect. And then I've critiqued Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a lot because a lack of story. There was good characters and there was good direction and the scenery and everything was good, but it was just kind of meandered, hung out. Don't like that movie very much, but then I like The Hateful Eight, which has the exact same type of problems that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood does, but for whatever reason, you just watch it subjectively and you like this and you don't like this. It's one of those weird things wired in your like movie brain where it's like, I just like it. There's no rhyme or reason for it. So it makes then I like Fast and Furious and I hate Mad Max. It's just kind of how it goes.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like a fine wine. It gets better with like every rewatch.
It did get better when I saw it.
I've seen that movie 5 times since the theater.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Put a pin in that conversation, Colin. That's definitely like a live stream, like kind of not contradiction, but just kind of like picking apart, like, okay, we like this film, but we hate this film, and kind of finding those two, and picking them apart. It's a great conversation. But Ken, your thoughts, man, going back to the question in regards to Joe Russo's writing sensibilities, him maybe more action heavy than character. Like right now, we've been talking because these scenes right now to me are just kind of dull. Like I'm not,
Harper. They've been going on for so long. Yeah, he talked to that kid for like 15 minutes. Like you don't need that.
He had to read him a story.
I think this is very overwritten. Like I think he tried a little too hard to write too much for a story that didn't need it in a movie that didn't need it. It relies heavily on the action and the set piece moments, and it's almost like he was trying to overcompensate for everything else and create this compelling story that just wasn't there. And it's not Chris Hemsworth's fault. I think he does a great job, but But yeah, I mean, it's just like you all said earlier, it's like a generic action film straight from the Walmart DVD shelf. That's what it felt like when I watched the trailers. And I don't think it was until Alex said, "Hey, you got to watch this movie," that I actually watched it because he said it was good. I wasn't going to watch it if he hadn't said that.
A guy at the movies is in the chat. He said, "Colin spitting truth tonight." And he said, "I hate Once Upon a Time in Hollywood."
No,
I was so bored in the movie, and I'm a huge I legit love every other Tarantino movie. Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it twice, and it just
watch it.
It was like maybe one of the more disappointing.
Just keep watching it until you like it.
That's one of those. Yeah, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I think that and The Rise of Skywalker are my two like most disappointing movies last year. I just
No,
wasn't-
that sucks.
That's a shit.
Oh, that's a whole
Yeah, that's another.
Yeah,
Can of
Rise
worms
Skywalker
has been
was-
opened.
The Rise of Skywalker is a travesty against mankind. I think.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is brilliant in its meandering. Like it's intentionally meandering in it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
It's
like I
wonderful.
said,
Wonderful.
the characters are great. Every shot, every word of dialogue is great. It's just too long. Too long.
Do you
Like,
think
Dazed
that
and
these
Confused is
two?
a meandering movie. I'm sorry, Jared.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm just curious. Do you think that these two could actually go fit hand to hand?
No.
Or okay.
I think Thor or Chris Hemsworth, for that matter. Yeah, I mean, no offense to David Harbour, I just don't see that. I don't know. He's a big dude, but I don't know if hand.
Yeah, I guess maybe train. Like again, his character could have training and stuff, so therefore.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But what?
I just feel like he was so wasted in this movie. They could have been David Harbour could have been anybody. This character could have been played by anybody in this role.
Yeah.
Well, they had. It was probably written in his Stranger Things. Hey, we'll give you another movie.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But curious your thoughts, Alex, on Joe Russo's writing sensibilities, man. Strengths and weaknesses, maybe.
Weaknesses is he loves dialogue. Like that's what it looks like. He just loves the yapping. Other than that, I mean, I thought the film. I mean, out of the whole panel, I'm like the only one that liked the damn movie.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I mean,
I liked it.
I'm not blaming you, man. You're point something guy. All right. You're the point something guy. That's what I'm call you right now. I'm gonna make a T-shirt. Point something.
Oh, where
guy.
you at? Where you at? Over here.
Over here. So yeah. So look, I think the movie has its flaws. Like we all knew that he was gonna turn on him. Like that was like the most obvious. Oh man, he got the last of it.
Mhm.
Dude, did you see my
Yeah,
reaction?
I just saw your reaction.
Oh my god, that was disgusting. It was like
Yeah,
basically
pour the liquor to the bottom.
mixed water. Oh, god,
Yeah.
whatever.
No, I just think personally, I mean, I think Joe Russo, I'm okay with his writing style for action movies. I just think he needs to iron it out. Iron it out.
Have a co-writer.
Yes.
I
Someone
wonder
else that does it.
that Cherry movie that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they writing that or if they're gonna have.
Oh, and remember, this was a graphic novel too.
What Extraction?
Yes, it was called The Ciudad.
Yeah.
Well, like
Oh.
George Lucas is he's a terrible writer, right? So he needs like same way Joe Russo needs a co-writer, I think, to kind of just clean. Like he's got the good ideas. Like okay, this is the action sequences that we can write, and we get pretty basic plot here, and then flesh out these characters in a way that's decent. But then someone to kind of trim up and kind of freshen up that dialogue, and maybe even scale it back a little bit with the dialogue as well too. Whereas like George Lucas, I like for the prequels, he should have had a co-writer for every single movie because his dialogue's terrible. I guess we're getting to Star Wars talk again, but
Well, it's not that terrible now.
You didn't
I
love
prefer
that.
those over the new
That I hate sand. It's coarse. And
it was
it gets everywhere.
it's become a
You didn't think that was a
it's-
good line?
it was funny. It's funny.
Definitely funny. So, kind of on that note, there, guys, we kind of touched on it a little bit in that conversation, but I'm just kind of curious, starting with Alex as he's eating some. What are you? It's like whatever you eating looks so good. What is that? Peanuts or?
I'm like
M&Ms?
Norman Bates. I'm just eating like I'm eating my almond right now, like Norman Bates. I'm just chilling.
I'm just kind of curious, man, because I know you're an action fanatic, man.
Yeah,
What
I love it.
food makes a good action movie?
A good story, a great
There we go.
main character.
Mm.
Like I mean, like someone that you could believe that he could do this. Like Chris Hemsworth. Look, for everyone can say whatever, but Chris Hemsworth opened my eyes for him to do more action movies. Like I'm like, you know what? Do another franchise. Like I could see him in the John Wick series. Like if they gave him a character there, like let him pop up.
Right.
To me, he reminded me of Gerard Butler.
Mm.
Like Gerard Butler is an excellent action star.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I think he's great. But yeah, story, character, great set pieces, like the Mission Impossibles. They have a lot of great set pieces across the board. And the sequences, if they're believable, not like some fake, race car drivers, and then they all become, spies towards like eighth movie in there.
Like jumping a
What
car
are you
from a
talking
building
about?
to another building.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. Now you're going, But
What about you, Kim? What makes to you a good action movie, man?
no, don't act that. He doesn't know. Go to the next
I
guy.
don't know. I've only seen 2 action films in my life. This is one of them, and the other one's Terminator 2.
There you go. There you
Which
go.
is the best one, probably.
No, it is. Yeah, objectively, it's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a director that knows what the hell they're doing with action, for one, and another, you have to have a star. Like, I think that you have to have a star, and you have to have an iconic character. Like, that's why John Wick blew up the way he did. I mean, it's a new action character for a new generation. It feels kind of like a throwback, but it also feels fresh too. And yeah, just exciting action sequences and a director that knows what they're doing. And you have to have a star. You have to have somebody in the driver's seat driving the action.
Okay. What about you, Jared?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the star thing because it doesn't feel like people are going to movies nowadays for like a movie star.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
The
for
Rock.
action movies, it kind of works because like Colin, you just said The Rock. You know, there's John Wick with Keanu Reeves. There's Tom Cruise. Yeah. So that's why those ones I feel like land because they've gotten the right person in there and people kind of, I wouldn't say relate to it, but they're like, they want to see that person kick some ass and do action things. But also like, you know, the action set pieces, something that people are going to talk about, something that you're going to almost want to stand up and cheer for in the movie theater. Those are the best. Like going to an opening night. I remember I went to opening night, Mission Impossible Fallout, I think, and people were like cheering because it was so action packed and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I want it to be fun, believable, action packed, but also someone that I recognize, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Some good stuff there. I love Saja, whatever his little wrap around kind of blend his costume to kind of
He's like Mad Jedi.
Straight up
It
Assassin's
looks like
Creed
it looks
right
like
now.
it looks like Megatron and
Oh God, he does. Holy shit! Where he's coming from the desert and he's wearing the robes.
because robots have a fashion sense.
Yeah, man. Come on. Also, I'm probably gonna go turn a light on because I feel like I'm in the Unfriended movie right now, and something bad's gonna happen.
something walking behind.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that.
I saw a couple of little eyeballs over here.
Some clown or something. But what about you, Colin? What makes a good action film for you besides Vin Diesel and family and cars?
Yeah, those. That's it for sure. Yeah, like some of you guys mentioned, character, story. That's really important. I think a uniqueness to the action because there's so much out there.
Yeah,
that you gotta distinguish. I've a couple movies, and these are MCU movies. I think really are gonna stand the test of time for like, oh, that was different what they did with the action sequences. Ant-Man. And I mean, we got the big one and Winter Soldier. Those are kind of like the stuff we've seen before, but just kind of more style, less style, whatever. The shaky cam, kind of whatever. I'm talking about like something we kind of haven't seen before. In Iron Man 3, actually, what they did with like, oh, he's got like one arm on and one boot on, and he's got a gun flying around, and he's having to use like the Tony Stark like kind of homemade tech with, and they did some really cool things with the action there. And then if I think you have a good story. I think what John Wick did such a good job was intrigue, world building. Like the action's amazing, but like, oh my god, like what are these coins? What is he doing here? What's the Continentals? All these rules that they gotta play by, and the blackmailing and everything that's going on, and just the almost nonchalant nature of this world that they live in. Everyone's talking super sophisticated and cool, and it's got that swagger to it. I think with action movies, and some of them more than others, even a tad self-awareness can go a long way too. If you take itself too seriously, then it just becomes a snooze fest. With someone like the scenes here, with the dialogue, it's just like it's not knowing this is a fun schlocky action movie. Like Terminator 2 is probably the greatest action movie of all time, and
thank you.
Does some fantastic, and it's serious and stuff. It's still a blockbuster. So.
You're right. You're totally right with that.
The same thing I told you. Okay, now I don't know. It's sci-fi action, yeah.
I guess
it's great. Yeah,
I'm curious. Okay, for action movies, do you want the action to be believable, or do you also want that just spectacle? Because there's a lot of stuff that could be completely like it could never happen, but it looks awesome.
Right.
No, you're right though, because there's Like I just finished doing all 6 Mission Impossibles, just watching them with my wife, and I'm like, this is awesome because each of those films are believable. You're like, oh my god, Tom Cruise threw himself over.
They glued him right to it.
It's a type of action movie because if it's a John Wick movie where there's guns and it's like on Earth things are happening where there's gangs and whatever violence with hand-to-hand combat, you got to believe it there. But if we're getting to like kind of Star Wars type action, sci-fi, you just got to be like, it's different. There's the artist's interpretation of what an action scene would be in a sci-fi scenario in a different planet or something like that. So Lord of the Rings or some of these Game of Thrones or action sequences there, it's like, oh, well, dragons don't exist, so how could this ever? It's like, just kind of
how do you know? Dinosaurs.
Because I looked it up right before we got on here. No, I don't know.
I'm giving you shit, man. Come on.
I looked into it really hard. Big dragon researcher here.
Thank you. This is the Dragon Cast.
Well.
And the driving scenes, I mean, you got to have at least some type of chase scene. Like, there's no way you can have an action movie with like no car chase scene.
One of my favorites of all time, Die Hard, doesn't have a car chase scene.
Which one? That's the one with the Naka Loka Tower.
And Die Hard's got a great script.
But no, Die Hard's one of my favorite action movies of all time, and it's just like you guys said, what makes it fun is just John McClane taking out some terrorists, no shoes, stepping on
Christmas though.
On Christmas,
on Christmas. I mean,
see that makes up for the chase scene.
Exactly, it take away the element. All right, Lethal Weapon, Christmas, awesome. There you go.
Hey, I mentioned Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says.
And now that's why it crossed $1 billion.
That's why. That's
exactly why.
It didn't hurt.
It's like a top. Iron Man 3 is like a top tier Christmas movie for sure.
Christmas Story, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, for sure. the opening scene is like a banger Christmas song.
Well, and also, it's Christmas. It's nostalgia because it's looking back. It's going forward. You know, that's what Christmas is all about. Those Christmas memories.
For sure, 100%.
So just a little friendly reminder for those in the chat, those watching the replay. We are about an hour and 27 minutes into the film. We're in our third act where, things are starting to make sense. The beginning of the movie, we're starting to say, oh, that's the same bridge. Oh,
I think the second act is really dragged for sure.
Yeah, the third act is going to get crazy. But, it's crazy. I always love action movies that have the set piece on bridges for some reason. Like, what is it? Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol? I'm sorry, Mission Impossible 3. When Philip Seymour Hoffman is running on the bridge, and then you see the missile, he blows onto the car, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was cool."
Soldier is a good one.
Winter Soldier, excellent. True Lies.
Deadpool, yeah.
Oh, Deadpool's action sequences are so underwhelming. So underwhelming in my opinion.
Wait, are we talking about bridge scenes right now?
Yeah.
Isn't there one in one of the Apes movies?
Planet of the
Apes. The first one. The first one. That was awesome. Yeah.
A really good one.
That was like my problem with Deadpool though. Was like the bridge. It's like, okay, we're on a bridge for like half the movie. Can we like see other type of action sequences?
I think some other bridge scenes. Oh, X3.
Tom Cruise.
Ooh, X3. That's probably top tier right there.
War of the Worlds.
World of the World. Yeah.
Cloverfield had a really awesome bridge scene.
Yeah, that's a good one. So. Godzilla. Was Colin? Was there a scene on the bridge with one of the Fast films, like Fast 8?
That was a sad bridge scene. Godzilla.
I'm
trying to think of which one. I mean, there's probably a bunch of that
bridges. Yeah,
there was one.
Did bridges?
I think it's 7. I think it's in 7.
Yeah.
There's one, and then of course I think it was Statham and Vin Diesel. They were like, there's the thing about street fights is the street always wins.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was that movie, and he said that iconic line. He reset history. Just a cultural reset with that line.
Yeah.
Was there an action sequence in Bridges of Madison County? Because if so,
yeah, it might take.
I think there was.
I'm trying
Can you
to
think of 21 bridges?
Ooh, yeah, there's 21 scenes in that one.
Oh, there's a bridge sequence in the Amazing Spider-Man 1, and that sequence is okay at best.
Oh man, how you killed that dude? Oh, did you see that? He snapped his neck. Ugh.
There you go.
Those headshots.
Take out
Yeah.
that big gun. Bloop.
Why?
Oh my god.
Just in case he needs it.
Yeah.
He's like limping around. See, I'm like, because we've been talking a little bit. I don't even know really the context of the scene. I can't remember it from the first time I was watching it, without talking to a bunch of people. But who these guys they're fighting, or I kind of forget, honestly.
It's like the cartel, essentially.
Yeah. They're trying to get the kid across the bridge.
Simple enough.
Yeah.
But the people after him are essentially what? Bad people that worked with his father, that he owes them money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Yeah, I remember that part.
It's the generic every action movie with a hostage.
My thing is Chris Hemsworth just got in the car and just drove through the whole thing.
Yep.
But then again,
Yeah, I feel like the element of the car, I guess it's because we've already gotten it, but another sequence of him in the car kind of like would have maybe elevated this scene. Possibly.
Now, for action movies, do you guys like to have like another person that's not just faceless villains, going after our main people? Like that guy was going against Chris Hemsworth for a while of the film. Do you like that? How there's like kind of an equal force going after the main character?
Yes. That's why I think Terminator 2 is the best action movie of all time, because you have the perfect villain.
Kind of just depends, I think,
Yeah,
I mean, John Wick, yeah. Go ahead, man.
No, I totally agree. I always think that the villain should be better than the hero. So at least when the hero kick his ass, you go, "Oh yeah!"
Mm-hmm.
Like you figured
the
it out.
hero should always be getting his ass beat.
Well,
for
I like
90% of the
when-
movie, so you root for him to come back.
I like in John Wick the main villain of that is established as John Wick used to work for him. He got out of kind of doing that like whole lifestyle. Is clearly top dog, has all his little henchmen to kind of fight for him, so to speak.
Yeah.
John Wick kind of goes through that like the chess pieces, like all through all these people, and now it's the king versus king, so to speak, and they duke it out finally. And he was a great villain in that movie. Absolutely, it's like the fucking book. He's the guy who killed the fucking boogeyman.
Yeah.
My only problem with the John Wick, I think, is John Wick 2. When they put
I
a
love
hit
John
on,
Wick too.
no, I love
John
too.
Wick too.
My only problem is when they put a hit on him. I'm
Mhm.
like, it doesn't make sense for the storyline because everyone fears him when you say his name. But then all these assassins like, okay, I'm gonna go after John Wick, and
They should, but that's like I think an indictment on toxic masculinity. Oh, I could take that guy. I'm a big bad, like kind of guy too. So I think a lot of these people go after him, and I don't know, just they're badasses too. They're like, John Wick's got a reputation, but I can do it,
Yeah.
Also,
But I mean,
that
John
money,
Wick 2
man.
is actually John Wick 2 is actually my favorite because of that plot line. I think it has an amazing story. John Wick 2 is my favorite, which is, I guess, an unpopular opinion.
No, I just think like he should have got a higher ransom because it's John Wick. It should have not been like $14 million since it's John Wick. It should have been
Whoa,
like
so how much is John Wick worth?
me. I would have did like I would have hit him like 80 million to kill him.
Oh, dang.
You know how many assassins would try to?
Oh, everyone then.
Yeah, and it would have made sense. You would be like, oh damn, this dude is getting like even dudes at McDonald's cooking your.
Well, and that's the thing, though.
Yeah, Jared from Subway over here
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to take out John Wick.
Oh yeah, I'll give him a foot long.
Give him a full on. That sounded so dirty, man. That sounded so dirty. Good God.
Good one.
There's no ladies in the chat still, are there?
Yeah.
I hope there's no ladies in the chat.
Well, if they are,
If
good
so, I
sense of humor.
apologize for
Good sense
my
of humor.
vulgarity.
So, do we at this point in the film do we feel for these characters, especially little kid? Do we want the stakes are high? Do we feel the tension?
I think I checked out by the end of the movie at this point,
Yeah.
honestly. When I was watching it the first time,
Mhm.
and I think that middle act, I think now I'm watching it now, it's kind of the main issue.
Yeah.
It just goes to a screeching halt after that car chase sequence. I mean, this is good stuff action-wise. Just, now you don't care the context of the action, which is kind of my problem with Mad Max 2. It's like great action, the context of it just does nothing for me.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you.
I kept waiting for the girl to turn on him. I don't know if anybody else had that same thought, but I felt like she was going to turn on him
really?
the entire movie. Yeah.
Did they have a relationship? Was that ever established? Because I know he was married. Like, were
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
They probably
I think
did,
they maybe
but I don't
had
think
some
they
sort of
ever-
past. I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, some sexual tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is great acting by Chris Hemsworth, though.
Yeah, he does a great job in the movie.
Man, I still think he could. I would love to see him in another franchise. To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. He'll.
I'd like to see him play a villain. Like, what if he was a villain in a John Wick movie? That
He'll be a
would be
great villain.
like similar to how Henry Cavill was a villain in Mission Impossible 8.
Well, he's already showed he can do the villain thing with Bad Times.
With Bad Times. Yeah, I mean, I would. Can you imagine if he was just like the Yang to like John Wick's Yang or something, dude? Like,
yeah, that would be awesome.
and John Wick usually goes by things kind of easily, but it's each fight he's get the crap beat out of him, but he wins every single time. Whereas, like, dude, if he loses or something, like,
I think that
maybe
might be,
it's
that 4 and 5. I think is going to probably have I hope it has like an overarching like across like a villain that comes from 4, and John Wick has to take him or her out.
I kind of would like almost like a Dark Knight Rises vibe. Like, dude, he gets his back broken, has to like train again, and
they put him in a giant well. He has to climb a rope.
Has some serious character development.
Right, mysteriously.
Maybe by the time they get to John
Everything's
Wick Chapter
good.
7, they'll bring Hemsworth in and John Wick Chapter 7.
I feel like
Recent new life
after
in.
so many movies, you can't keep saying chapter. It's just John Wick 4 now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like chapter. It's like.
But I do agree though with Elliot. I mean, I always love action movies that the villain stays alive to the next. That's why I always love Solomon Lane in Rogue Nation, because he went over to Fallout. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if John Wick, if they would have did John Wick, I would do something crazy and have Chris Hemsworth and Gerard Butler together versus John Wick. Like they have this whole unit together.
They're part of the table or whatever.
Yeah, they're like the high table, but they're like
they should just do the Sinister Six.
Yeah,
going to the John Wick movie. Just bringing all the.
God, now that you said Hemsworth and Butler together, I want that.
He's going to be in the next Fallen film.
That would be awesome too.
Yeah,
that would be a great him playing like a president. Or like
they're gonna call it Falling Down Under or something.
Falling Down.
Yeah.
No, but, I mean it would be pretty cool. Like or like that Triple Frontier movie, like when they had all those big actors in one. Like they could do like an Expendables movie and have Chris Hemsworth, Gerard Butler, like all the newer dudes.
I really want to see Jake Gyllenhaal in an action role. Like he's done like some badass characters, but it's like more nuanced and. Like he's like a detective, you know, he's not getting his hands dirty too much. Love to see him like do something like this almost.
But there's something with Jake Gyllenhaal though. Like I can't see him in that role.
Dude, he can buff up. Have you seen Southpaw, bro? Like he can get
that's boxing.
big.
Like action sequences. Like I don't know. Like it's really hard.
Wasn't Source Code kind of an action movie? I barely
remember.
It
was. I haven't seen that. It's in its entirely.
There were too many actions.
Yeah, other than that, I guess you're right. I don't remember Jake Gyllenhaal in any kind of.
Like that's when they say they're gonna do Division, like the movie, like the Division video game. Into I'm like Jake Gyllenhaal though. Like if you would have did Chris Hemsworth, I would have been like, oh hell yeah, Chris Hemsworth in a Division movie.
Jake Gyllenhaal is a chameleon though, dude. He can do everything. Like
he's probably like top 3 actors working today.
Yeah, he's like top 1 for me. He's probably my favorite working right now.
Yeah.
Besides Vin Diesel.
Dude, people like crap on Vin Diesel, but he's an extremely intelligent guy. Like he knows what he's doing with he gets the universe, man. It's fun, you know, like type movies and stuff. Like you talk to him, he's super. He's a great producer too. He's like he's definitely has. I can't believe I'm saying this. A vision.
Oh man.
Yeah. So there's the shot, guys. Tyler Rake, which is going to bring up one of our last questions. We'll leave that to the end, but he's dead as they're kind of posing us to the film now. But
I hate open endings.
Yeah.
Well, the kid acts like he was super affected by what I just didn't get by their camaraderie. You know, like that they
weren't together long enough.
He
Yeah.
met him for like 2 seconds. He's like, "I love you, Taylor."
I love
you. You're ready in that story, man.
24 hours. Yeah, they spent less than 24 hours together.
I thought we were gonna open a bar together.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll play devil's advocate. I mean, the kid did kill someone for the first time, and Tyler was there to experience that with him. So that is kind of a bonding moment per se.
Yeah.
Doesn't this guy remind you of the kid from Stranger Things? What's his name? Wolfgang? Whatever.
Yeah, Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah.
You got it. Nailed it.
That's his name, whatever. The guy from
Finn Wolfhard or whatever.
Finn Wolfhard.
Wolfhard.
That's like a very RPG name, right?
Yeah, he's a character from Bloody Roar.
Yeah, this kid that killed Kristen, he has to come back in the sequel as the big bad villain.
Oh yeah. And get shot.
Yeah, wow, that's imposing. A little kid.
Seconds. This is so Man on Fire.
I was literally about to say that, Alex. Literally about to say that. Yeah, so true. Which is a good movie, by the way.
Denzel, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Little
Tony Scott directed that, didn't he? Tony Scott directed that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Man on Fire. You had was it Jack Reacher 2? Also did the same.
Bro, the first Jack Reacher is actually low key, like kind of good.
I like the first one.
The first one's good. The first one's good.
Yeah, it was. It was a decent action flick.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't play the character. Like, I would not vision Tom Cruise to be Jack Reacher, but because like in the novel, Jack Reacher is like 6'8", like he's huge, and he's out everybody. Yeah. The Rock would be a good person to play that character because he's like big. He's dead.
Parallel storytelling. You gotta love it. Good job, Sam Hargrave.
No callback.
I do like the blood.
Yeah, blood splatter. Yeah.
Yeah, the visceral action. I will give credit there.
Was it CG? You think?
I don't know.
No, I think they really killed that man. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
He's sacrificing him. There's something. Yeah. They killed their something.
That's that's a good question. Is a lot of blood splatter practical or CG?
The John Wick all CG.
Yeah,
because you can see it. Like
it's quick. Yeah,
it's very quick.
Like Tarantino is all practical. Head chopped off. It's like.
But that scene that we saw, it looked like they did it practical.
So here's the scene, guys.
Here we go.
Is it him? That doesn't even look like. That looks like an old man.
Yeah, that looked like.
No, it looks like him.
The funny thing is, a lot of people that I follow on Twitter didn't even see that he was standing there, or someone was standing there at the end.
I thought it was Quinn from Jaws. He was just there.
He's recruiting him.
He's recruiting.
Get out of the water. Get out of the water.
Get out of the water.
No, that's Brody.
I don't know my shark movies. Come on.
For that, you get the head and the tail. And the
that guy.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the movie. We're going to stick around for another 10 minutes or so just to kind of share our thoughts about.
Is it just me, or does this have the longest credits of any movie? It's
my credits.
I don't know. Mine's playing minutes. Cobra Kai right now.
Cobra Kai is literally playing on my.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, mine's playing like Cobra Kai too. Yeah.
I exited.
If we sit here for 2 minutes, it counts as a view.
Exactly.
They're 14-minute long credit sequence, and I stuck around for all of it because I thought there was going to be an end credit scene, but no, it's just 14 minutes of credits.
Well, they got to say thank you to everybody, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that worked on it. The caterers, the second unit caterers, the third
unit. So they do this bullshit water, and they have to flash every name that would go on a regular roll credit, and then they do the roll credits.
That's why I always hate it with the Marvel movies. Like when you go see a Marvel movie, you're like, yeah, a post credit. Then all of a sudden you see like third unit name, and it's like mad names. Then there's the fourth unit, and then Taiwan unit. You're like, what? Like, oh, who cares? Let's get to the final.
So as we kind of wrap this up, final thoughts on Extraction, starting with Ken.
Look, I really like the movie. I gave it a solid 8.75 out of 10.
Whoa.
I thought it was good.
That is high.
Not great, definitely not great storytelling. But I think that action sequence in the middle really elevated it for me, and it's got some really fun action throughout the movie. And I thought they did a good job, even though I don't like totally how his character was written, but they did a good job establishing Hemsworth as a legitimate action star, and hopefully the character Tyler Rake will go on to do bigger and better things.
As the
Force goes. With final thoughts on Extraction, man, and I guess a score.
Oh Lord. Honestly, like in terms of the film itself, like rewatching it again, yes, the dialogue is daunting. You're like, oh my god, they're yapping. But overall, it's a good movie that we got. I mean, we didn't. Again, for me, it's a guilty pleasure because like I love my action movies, and that's a rare commodity now in Hollywood. Like if I can get anything action, I'm up for it. So I will give this a 9 for. I enjoyed it. I like the action. The story again could go here and there, but it's a generic story that even a video game could do perfect. So like I can't nitpick on that stuff. So and if they have 8 and 9 sequels of Fast and the Furious, then this could be up there. I could see that. I can see that.
You just had to throw one last jab in, didn't you? You had to.
Before you knock it down, I'm ready for you to give it a 3. This is a horrible movie.
So speaking of Fast and Furious, Colin, what's your thoughts on Extraction and a score for the film, man?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, man. It's not a good movie. It just isn't. It's got a good action. Good acting for the most part. A little slick direction style. Sam Hargrave really impressed me with that movie. So, like two of the biggest facets of the, filmmaking, writing, the script, storytelling, character arcs, that sort of stuff. And then the filmmaking, cinematography, it's almost like a 10 on one side and then like a 0 on the other side. So it averaged out. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's just not a good movie. It really is. It's not a good movie. It's got good action. And there's fun to be had with it, but the actual storytelling isn't good.
What about you, Jarrett?
Yeah, I mean, again, rewatching it. This is the first time I've rewatched it. Story is fine. The characters really aren't there. The dialogue in between. I mean, that's not what you're watching this movie for. It's the action. It's the way it's shot, and just kind of popcorn flick blockbuster type material. So I think that I'm going to give this movie, I had to look up my review to see what I gave it originally, but I'm going to give this a 3.3 out of 5 Chris Hemsworths.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah,
I have a question. Is this your guys' favorite action movie of the year? Because I would go Birds of Prey. I think
no. Oh, hell no. Birds of Prey stunk, bro.
Yeah, I love
like pure action. I would go.
Because Jared, I was like super shocked when you said you didn't like that movie. Because just knowing you, and like I was like absolutely shocked because like people said one of the statements you said was it was boring, and I couldn't even believe it. Like I respect your opinion, but I just like that was the last thing I thought. I love the action there.
And again, I have yet to go back and rewatch it, so it could have been just a bad day. But yeah, that movie, Extraction, action-wise, is higher than Birds of Prey in my mind. I'm trying to think. Have we even gotten too many action movies this year?
I'm looking through the list, man. It really hasn't. Besides like the Old Guard,
unless you're counting like the Old Guard and Project.
The Old Guard, Bloodshot.
What was the movie that came out? The superhero Power Project Power. That one, the action wasn't all that great there. I mean, it was okay. I think Birds of Prey. I would give Birds of Prey for me personally. And not even just. Maybe I'm more biased because I think it's just a better movie, like Point Blank, way better than Extraction. So maybe Extraction does have a leg up on the action, but I think again the action means literally nothing to me if I don't care about the characters and the story. And I did in Birds of Prey. You guys did.
I actually like Birds of Prey a lot. As a movie, I'd probably put it over Extraction, but I think Extraction as an action movie is better.
Yeah, I even like it.
In terms of Birds of Prey, I hated the movie, but then again, I read the comics, so in that front, God, well, no way.
It was interesting people's reception of it. I was like kind of shocked when people said they didn't, because I was like, "Whoa, this is like, you could see all the action. It's funny. It's chaos." It was one of those things where it was like kind of like, "Oh, this is gonna be a crowd pleaser," and then there was some controversy. I was actually really interesting that people didn't like it, because I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be."
Well, the sad thing is that they had the same coordinators for John Wick's fighting in the Birds of Prey. Yeah. Like they did the reshoots with the John Wick coordinators. Action coordinator. So, I mean, I didn't think the fighting was that good, to be honest. Even the scenes at the end when they're in the fun house,
rollerblades, that was really fun. I liked it.
We'll leave the watch along for Birds of Prey another day.
Nope, fire it up right now, everyone.
Yeah, fire it up right now.
I did a watch along 2 weeks ago for Birds of Prey. Actually, had a good time with it. But
about to turn on this Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, right? But just kind of quick style as far as roundtable. Quick thoughts on prequel or follow up to this story, Jarrett, with Extraction 2.
Yeah, quick thing. I don't think there's any other action movies this year, so it's basically those two that we just talked about. I mean, the thing is, they kind of set him up as this seasoned character, so we could get a prequel or a sequel because of the ending. Mm-hmm. I think that they are probably going to go the sequel route more doubt than the prequel, but it is open doored. I mean, if it's anything resembling this, where a few things are punched up, whether it be the dialogue, the characters, just the flow and story of the movie, with even better action. I mean, what we got here was I enjoyed it. So hell, even if I got the exact same action, I would be okay with the movie. Yeah, Netflix, throw them another, what was it, 65 million? Just do it again.
Do it again. What about you, Colin? Would you prefer a follow-up to this movie or going back to a prequel and maybe having a team that they can assemble for a prequel?
Yeah, I could. Sorry, I'm lagging a little bit, but I couldn't care less. I just literally
sound like me about the Snyder cut.
No, it's just
already. We're gonna do this right now.
You said the magic word. Ding.
Oh God! All right, Snyder cut. That's a whole top. I'm looking forward to it. Whatever. But I mean, if the movie comes out, I review movies on my channel. I'll probably watch it, even though I don't think it's gonna be very good.
I mean, Colin, did you?
Sam Hargrave is if he's gonna direct the second one. Do we know about that? Jared, what were you gonna ask?
Oh, I was just gonna say you watched Artemis Fowl though, right?
Yeah, that was
so you can watch the sequel of this then.
Artemis Fowl was, I think, the worst movie I saw this year. Actually,
it was the worst movie.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That was technically, that had some action in it. If we want to call it that, I don't know. Right. I don't even know if it should be called a movie. Honestly,
it's called a waste of film.
A waste of a hard drive.
Yeah, if there's a movie that's no excuse to be that bad, it's Artemis Fowl. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. What about you, Kim? What would you prequel, sequel, follow up for Extraction 2?
I'm not a big fan of going straight for the prequel, at least when you're talking about like franchises. I'd rather them do a couple sequels actually before they go back and flesh out the backstory of Chris Hemsworth's character, because I don't think you got enough of that characterization in this to really warrant going back and doing a prequel. So I would like to see just a little bit more of his character evolution from where we got in this and pick it up in the sequels.
Okay. What about you, Alex?
I will go with I'm biased because I want a John Wick prequel because he's getting older and I think they need to use him now before he gets really old. Because I don't want no one else to play his character in the younger form. So that's where I'm like, man, John Wick 4 should just go prequel and then John Wick 5 come back to finish off
have Adam Driver play Keanu Reeves.
Hey, it could work. Whoa, I just killed that man.
Whoa. In terms of Extraction, I could either way. I could go with. I mean, if they go sequel route, they're gonna have to explain how he could survive getting shot in the neck, a sniper shot through the chest, and then pulled in the water.
I'm sick of people dying and coming back. And
that's why I was like, I don't want a sequel. Honestly, if you ask me, I point blank, I would rather do a prequel to see how he harnessed his skills and how his daughter died. I want to see that. unfold.
It's easy though. You just show somebody bringing him out of the lake, and then they fill him up with robot parts, and he's a Terminator. From now
Oh
on.
yeah.
Just
Do
that.
the Fast 8 way or Hobbs and Shaw.
That
or
was
whatever.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
I was
there we
just
go.
about to say that. Idris Elba. He was basically like what, the Black Superman? Like
Yep.
that's basically
Boom,
what he
that's
was.
straight out of the movie, man. Good quote.
How you doing? Hey, so one more little panel that I want to pose to you guys, because again, this was an action night. This is the opening night of Guy at the Movies, first ever film festival. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to all these amazing content creators channels. But one last panel, one last question for you all, the question of the night. The best action movie. I didn't want to go too far back. I just want to keep it to the deck. So I got a couple films for you all. We'll play kind of, like I said, maybe a battle royale type style, but I know Colin's going to love this one. So in the 2010s, we got Fast 5, Fast 6, 7, 8, and Hobbs and Shaw. So starting with Colin, out of those, and we'll pick one and then we'll put it against someone else. But starting with Colin, what film out of this last decade is your favorite Fast film, whether it be a spinoff or in the story that they tell within those films?
Yeah, man, it goes back and forth. It's tough, but I think that Paul Walker stuff in Furious 7, bro, just gets the man tears, man. Man tears. I'm going Furious 7.
What about you, Jerry? What's your favorite Fast film in the last decade?
Is 5 in the contention here?
Yeah, all the ones. 5,
okay,
6.
I'm gonna say 5 because that Brazil scene with the
so
safe
good.
and everything,
So
like,
good.
dude, that is when I get jumped on board for the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, so
Rock
great.
introduced to the franchise. Yeah. What about you, Ken? Out of these Fast movies, what's your favorite Fast?
I've actually only seen one of these. I've only seen Fast 5, so I haven't caught up on the series yet. But yeah, Fast 5 was really good, so I'm picking that one.
Yeah.
So 2 for Fast 5. What about you, Alex?
Honestly, I'm gonna pick the one that The Rock came in because he really rebooted.
That's Fast 5.
Fast 5,
Yeah,
baby.
I have no quibbles with Fast 5 moving on. It's great. It's hand in hand. It's probably the better movie, but Furious 7 just hits the emotion, you know.
Yeah, I think The Rock really juvenized the whole Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So Fast 5 going on to the next one. So now let's see what I have here. So the next one here is, let me bring it up on the screen. Out of the 3 movies, who wins?
Oof.
Oh Jesus!
Starting with Alex. I know this is your franchise. So Alex, what's your favorite John Wick film that's gonna go to the next round, man?
My favorite one will always be 1 for story, but number 2 I love for the action.
So you got to pick one. Which one is it?
Damn,
Got to pick one.
I have to pick one. Would be John Wick 1.
John Wick. Okay. What about you, Ken?
Can I pick them all? Because I love them all. So
Only
Pick 'em
one.
all.
Only one. Only one.
I'm gonna go John Wick 3. I think it's so big and out there with his action. I think it flows the best out of all of them.
All right. What about you, Colin?
I'm gonna go John Wick 2, so we all have different answers.
Oh no, you're gonna.
Great.
Same thing with Jared when he had to pick Dumb and Dumber over Superbad. I wanted to murder him that day. But yeah, John Wick 2 is it's so good. But it's like picking your favorite kid, man.
Very true.
The third one's easily the worst to me, but yeah.
Oh wow. What about you?
You can't beat that library scene, man.
It's great. Yeah, it's just easily the worst. Like
The
that's
book.
so great.
What about you, Jared?
Yeah, I love the story of the first, the setup of the second and everything, and the world exploration. But I got to give it to 3 because we're bringing in Halle Berry. We're bringing in dog violence. We're bringing in that library scene at the beginning. I mean, 3 is so cool. That was a fun theater experience. So I'm going to go 3.
It was.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. Yeah, 3 is great. It's just my least favorite.
So John Wick 3 is coming on to the next round. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. So let's see. Let me pull up another one here. This might be, let's see. All right. So here's another fun franchise that we'll pick out of this one here. Out of the 3 films that came out this past decade, which one of you guys got with this franchise?
Oh my god.
Damn
you.
Starting with Alex.
Fallout.
Fallout. All right. Ken?
Ghost Protocol.
Colin?
We're doing it again. I'm gonna go Rogue Nation. No, Rogue Nation's so good, dude. It's so good.
That's my favorite one, to be honest with you guys. Garrett.
Fallout is damn good, but I really, really like Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
You guys, I love it. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one out of all of them, to be honest. I love Rogue Nation. So
I'm
Rogue
shocked
Nation.
Fallout didn't move on. Yeah.
Me too. But I love Rogue Nation, man, especially with the introduction to
Rebecca. Great theater experiences. Good God.
So switching it up a little bit, we talked a little bit about sci-fi earlier, and maybe something a little bit different, or not sci-fi. This is a different franchise. I'm sorry, that's going to be the next one. But I don't know. Have you guys seen these two incredible action? I think these action films are ridiculous. Have you the Raid 2? Have you guys seen these films?
I seen the first one. I did not see the sequel.
What about you, Ken?
I don't think you ever heard of
either one. Yeah, you're proving Alex right here. Show me 2 action films I haven't seen.
Colin, Jared, have you guys seen the Raid?
I've heard a lot about these movies, and I've yet to check them out.
What about you, Jared?
I'm gonna lose all of my clout and subscribers because I haven't seen either of them.
You guys are hurting.
But
my
I've
heart.
heard,
I got the
I've heard
Blu-ray.
they're
Does
so
that count?
amazing, and it's on my Netflix watch list, and it just is like staring at me for the last 2 years, and I haven't watched it.
Whenever you guys get a free time, you have to watch the Raid.
You have to.
You have
I have
to.
the.
What? Yeah, I love
the
Dread.
first one.
Yeah,
That's the same concept. As
Yeah.
But
okay,
just
which out of these two, which one?
part 1.
Okay.
Well, I seen one.
You
So
haven't seen
Okay. Okay. Well, Elliot, have you seen both?
I've seen both. Yeah, I own both. They're 2 of my favorite action movies ever.
Then
The
which one?
second So that's kind of like the Alex question about John Wick. So the second one is a different story. It's like a mafia story. It's like much bigger. It's like literally like a mafia movie. It's more violence, and there's a kitchen scene that's just off the chains. But the first one, just the idea of like going up each levels and the ecos wise, man, it's like a kung fu master in those films. So I got to go with the first one. But the second one's really it's actually like 40 minutes longer, but the story is really integral. So the first one for me, but we won't count that one since you guys haven't seen that one. But you guys definitely highly recommend check out the Raid films if you guys get a chance. They are incredible. So hopefully, I think we've all seen these 2 films, different films in a sense as far as the genres, but. Which one do you guys pick with Skyfall?
You dirty man.
This is Susio, my friend.
Why would you do this?
I'm picking Skyfall.
Skyfall?
Yeah.
What about you, Ken?
I'm ashamed to say it. I love Sam Mendes. I have not seen Skyfall.
Oh my God! Get this guy off the panel. How you?
Drop him. Drop him.
Look, man, I'm not a big James Bond guy. I just haven't.
So.
It's one of those franchises. I feel like I have to watch every single one of them to like get it. I know I don't, but like I feel like I should go back. And I've only seen like GoldenEye and Die Another
good
Day,
ones.
like the only 2 James Bond movies I've seen. I like Pierce Brosnan as my Bond. I guess I'm going Inception. I don't love that movie either.
By
But
default.
I'm going Inception.
Yeah, default.
What about you, Colin?
Actually, a funny story. My buddy's coming over to my house as soon as I finish this. He's probably on his way right now, and I'm watching Inception for the millionth time. He's watching it for the first time because we want to see Tenet together.
Oh shit!
So we're watching it. We were gonna see it in theaters, but it's late and whatnot. So I had a little bit busy day, but I got it on Blu-ray, of course. So we're gonna watch it. So Inception, 100%, bro. Like I'm talking about like top 3 favorite movie of all time.
Man, he's gonna have to get twisted on some of those Long Islands to understand what the hell is going on.
He's a drinker, bro. He knows how to drink. He's probably wouldn't be, given the reactions I have when I've been drinking this. But
What about you, Jared?
I love Inception. I love the twist, like the mind bend, everything that's set up. But if we're looking at the action, I gotta go Skyfall. Like that, it's much more action driven than Inception, I would say. So, going Skyfall.
Skyfall. What about you,
so
Alex?
Well, I was like, aren't you the breaking vote now?
Yeah, if we get but we'll see what his choice is here.
Oh, mine was Skyfall, hands down. I mean, I'm nothing wrong with Inception.
Yeah.
Cool, but Skyfall to me is a way better movie, all around.
Hot take. No, it's not hot take. But.
All right, so
Scoop.
we'll have to be the tiebreaker with this one.
Yeah. This would make or break our friendship. No, I'm just joking.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
rewatchability. Which film do I rewatch more often? That's going to be Inception. To be honest with you all, it's been a while since I've seen Skyfall. I watched it probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm going to probably rewatch them all before No Time to Die. But I'm sorry, Alex. I'm going with Inception, my friend.
Oh my god.
But two great films, nonetheless. Two great films, two great directors, two great movies. So I think one last one before we go to the next round. But this is I know I'm I'm excited to see Colin's reaction for this one. But what do we got with these two films, guys?
Man, hell yeah! Hell yeah! God. Colin wants the first one.
Go ahead, Colin.
You're funny. First of all, I'm not even gonna trash Mad Max Fury Road because I don't have the energy right now. I don't have energy.
Oh,
I'm burnt out. I don't have the time. But talking about Live, Die, Repeat or Edge of Tomorrow, I'm sorry. Oh my god, the marketing for that movie is atrocious. The marketing, I think that's probably I'm gonna say it's the worst marketing I've ever seen for a movie. For like a big
it's pretty bad.
Movie. It did not show the movie well. But anyway, that movie's fantastic. Even if I like Mad Max Fury Road, dude, I think Edge of Tomorrow is hard to top, dude. That movie is unbelievable. Emily Blunt, Tom Cruise, gotta go Edge of Tomorrow, 100%.
All right, so we got one for Edge of Tomorrow. What about you, Ken?
Yeah, I mean, Edge of Tomorrow is like one of the most underrated sci-fi films of like the 21st century. And I'm kind of with Colin a little bit. I think Mad Max is a little overrated. And it's easily the best Tom Cruise performance outside of Mission Impossible in the modern era. So yeah, Live, Die, Repeat.
All right, Alex.
Sadly to say, I never seen Edge of Tomorrow.
Ooh,
really good. Drop him out of here, Alex.
It's only fair.
Oh no, what happened? Connection error.
I'm gonna go with Mad Max. I mean, I love Mad Max, Fury Road.
Dude, I started at the bottom, and because they got dropped out, I'm up.
You worked your way up. Yeah.
I worked my way up. Started from bottom, now I'm here.
Like I said, I like Mad Max. I'm not saying nothing bad about Edge of Tomorrow. I just got to watch it first, and then
you would love it.
A lot of people said I would enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you would, man. What about you, Jared?
Yeah, the whole Live, Die, Repeat thing. Yeah, that was a whole fiasco when it was coming out and whatnot. But that is like the best video game movie that's not a video game because just looking at it, it's a video game. And I love Emily Blunt. Tom Cruise is amazing. I love Mad Max. I really enjoy both of these, but I would say that I've watched Mad Max more, so I'm going to lean towards that one, even though Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, whatever the hell you want to call it, is awesome, and people need to go watch it. But Mad Max for me.
Is that another tiebreaker?
Yep, you got to flip coin.
Oh, man.
What a glorious, glorious day, Colin. I'm going Mad Max, my friend. I'm going Mad Max, bro. I hear your gripes with my Mad Max, man, but I think we talked about George Lucas earlier. I think George Miller is such a visual storyteller. There's not a lot of visual storytellers. I put Zack Snyder in that boat.
Zack Snyder. I was gonna say Zack Snyder. Yeah.
So I just love I love the journey. It's literally a car chase, the entire movie. And I thought we talked about practicality earlier with Extraction. The practical uses of cars and the stunts they did in it just blows me away as far as like behind the scenes and being in the desert filming that. So I love Edge of Tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get a sequel with Doug Liman once they finish this space movie with Tom Cruise. Maybe they'll do this next, but I'm going to go with Mad Max, man. I love that film. Love it. But so we got our first round over. Let me bring up our second round here as the computer's loading. So let me just bring this up right quick. So taking our winners from the first round, bringing them over to the second round, and save the picture. Bear with me.
Elliot, before we move on, can I call out one of my favorite action films of the modern era?
No
doubt. Alex probably. It's I would throw an Upgrade in there. It's a fantastic action.
Lee Winnell,
directed by Lee Winnell. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Great action on that.
It's okay.
Great action.
So to carry over our battle from the first round, we got Fast 5 versus Mission Impossible 5. What is this the fifth one? Yeah, it's funny. 2 5s.
Battle of the Fives, yeah.
Battle of the Fives. So starting with Colin, what you got, man?
Bro, I gotta stay consistent, bro. Fast 5 all the way.
Oh man.
All right. What about you, Jared?
I'm gonna go with Rogue Nation. I mean, you put Tom Cruise underwater for like a long time, and then there's a flute gun. I love me a good flute gun.
What about you? What about you, kid? Oh, I'm sorry. And Jared, so I assume it's a Rogue Nation for you, Jared.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. What about you, Ken? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd go Rogue Nation, definitely.
Rogue Nation. All right. And then Alex, what you got, man?
I'm going with Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation.
Hands down, yeah, it's a better film.
Yeah, it probably is, but I just gotta stay consistent.
Oh no, you gotta stay there for your franchise.
Yeah,
I can't.
It's all about family, Colin.
If I said Rogue Nation, I lost the battle.
Yeah, your credibility went right out the window.
I've already lost. Yeah, I gotta stay consistent.
All right, so I'm sorry. I'm literally making these as we're doing this as the round because I
No worries.
Who's going to win the round? So our next one was who am I pinning who against? John Wick. Who are we doing? John Wick versus
was it Inception? No.
Because we didn't do that. I'm not counting the raid because we didn't. A lot of us didn't see the raid.
Yeah.
Oh, so then it'll be Inception.
Inception, yeah. Sorry, let me send it to myself.
You're right in my heart. Like Natalie Portman scene. Anakin, you broke my heart.
Jesus.
This is like a horrible scene.
All right, so here we go. Here, I'm just gonna share the screen.
All right.
So yeah, who do we got with this this battle here as far as John Wick 3 versus Inception?
Oh, the Baba Yaga.
Go ahead. I'll start with Ken with this one.
That's no competition. It's John Wick 3.
John Wick 3. Wow. What about you, Colin?
To me, it's completely two different because it's like Inception's like all the spectacle, the effects, the weird way that. Remember what I said is what makes a good action movie is creative, dude. That hallway thing with with the Joseph Gordon-Levitt and seeing the different perspectives of the car falling down the water. So I got to give creative brownie points to Inception here. But John Wick 3 is phenomenal.
What about you, Jared?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Even though I was against Inception last round, I think I'm going to give it to that one because just, the rewatchability and the creativity that Colin had mentioned. Even though John Wick 3 is a fucking ride of a movie.
Yeah. All right. So, Alex?
If we're going to go with creativity, John Wick 3 has creativity.
It does.
Kill the man
with a book.
With a horse. When he kicked the dude. I was like, no way. Then he kills the dude with a book. Then he goes into the warehouse and they're having that crazy fight scene with like grabbing knives from cabinets. And then he puts together a freaking Colt 45 and shot one bullet.
Are you ready to change your answer yet?
Oh, John Wick 3, hands down for creativity.
Well, Elliot's got to choose now.
Oh, shit.
So if it comes down, so this whole thing is best action of the decade.
That's
so
right.
Action, I'm going John Wick 3.
Yep.
I'm going John Wick 3.
Yes.
Again, and that's a lot of people flawed Christopher Nolan with his action sequences, which I hear Tenet has like incredible action sequences, especially seeing that behind the scenes with John David Washington doing everything in reverse, which looks crazy. But pure action, I'm going John Wick 3, guys. Which leaves us with the final people that survived and just make this little list. Was it John Wick 3, Rogue Nation, and Mad Max? So let me just grab those bad boys. In the meantime, you guys got anything to plug while I make this right quick? What's the next video we can expect, Colin?
Hey,
Jared,
I have some breaking news. I don't know if this is real.
Is this real?
Chadwick Boseman just died.
Yeah, at the age of 43.
Yeah.
Is he 43?
This can't be real.
No.
Whoa.
Let me go to TMZ. That's the way you know it's real.
Because I just got like 8 alerts.
Yeah, my friends are like, dude. Yeah, he did. Colon cancer.
Oh my God.
At the age of 42.
That's crazy. Because I don't know if you guys remember a couple months ago when everyone saw that picture of him online and he was like super skinny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can read a statement from Chadwick Boseman's Twitter account if you guys want me to.
Wow.
Yeah, read it.
Yeah, sorry to bring the mood down, I guess.
Yeah. He said it is with immeasurable grief that we confirm the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016 and battled with it the last 4 years as it progressed to stage, 4. A true fighter, Chadwick preserved throughout all and brought you many of the films you have come to love so much, from Marshall to The Five Bloods, a bunch of the films they listed off here. And it says, was honor of his career to bring King T'Challa to life in Black Panther. He died in his home with his wife and family by his side. What the dude? This is shocking.
Wow,
shocking. It's like it remind me of Kobe, just like out of nowhere.
Wow.
I
mean, yeah, 2020, man.
It's just the worst year ever.
Man, fuck 2020.
Wow.
Wow, that's a shocker.
Well, forget action movies. I mean, if
Black
you guys
Panther, go watch it.
Yeah,
go watch
man.
it.
I mean, we could just, open discussion here in regards to Chadwick Boseman, man. Whether it be Black Panther, Jackie Robinson, James Brown, the fantastic actor, man. Do you guys have anything to say about Chadwick Boseman?
42.
I mean, I guess the thing is, like, yeah, him being Black Panther at 42 or whatever he was when he was that, I was kind of surprised by his age compared to all of the other people. But, I mean, he definitely held his own. And, the Jackie Robinson, 42 movie, thoroughly enjoyed that one as well.
Wow, I'm very shocked, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him as Jackie Robinson. I thought 21 Bridges was a great movie. I thought it was a very good movie. Not very great, but very good movie. He was a great Black Panther, and I don't know how are they going to replace him.
That's what I'm just thinking right now. It's like, I don't even know. Do they continue that? Do they have Shuri
come in?
Yeah,
and Storm.
Damn. Well, there's really no easy transition from that, guys. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family, his friends. He definitely leaves a legacy of some great films. But from what I heard, he's a great person, great man. So rest in peace, man.
Who's gonna hit hard? Denzel Washington, because he paid his way through acting school.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of his what is it? Those the grants.
Yeah.
You know how they do the grants? Chadwick Boseman was one of the people that got one of Denzel's grant, and then he paid it forward when he became famous, and it's just sad, man.
That is
Denzel must be ripped right now.
Man, again, guys, there's no easy way to transition. We'll kind of wrap this up, and again, thoughts and prayers go out to the Boseman family and friends, and yeah, man, rest in peace.
Makes you wonder what they're gonna do about,
Yeah, honestly, I think they.
I can't believe that they've been hiding it. Like, has this been out there that he had cancer? Did anybody?
He started getting sick, and you noticed it, but they kept it private. Like they didn't ever.
It was a couple months ago. He was doing like an Instagram live, and people jokingly was like, "Is that for a role?" And then like Alex said, they kept it on the wrap. So,
because when
some people were saying that they thought he was sick, but they was like, "Oh, it's probably for a role or something like that."
Yeah,
but
when you see 21 Bridges, you see how fragile he looked. Like he looked skinny, and I was like,
for him to have been sick, like this would have been like pretty much right after he filmed Civil War. Like,
yeah,
Civil
all
War.
Of that crap that he did, like that's amazing that he was able to hold his own in all them films. So yeah, I don't know. This honestly just like messes me up right now.
Yeah. And I hear you guys. This is again thoughts and prayers to the Boseman family, and he won't be forgotten. Great man, great actor. We got a lot of films to appreciate from him, and again, like I said, rest in peace, man. But again, like I said, there's no easy way to transition. We'll just kind of do our outros. Again, guys, this has been a great night. We'll celebrate Chadwick Boseman. We'll obviously kind of let this sink in. And definitely appreciate the man that he was. But, starting with Colin, man, if you want to let people know where they can find you and all that great stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Heartbreaking news. We'll get into it, for sure. All week. This is tough times this year, man. But so thoughts, prayers to him for sure. But in other terms, it's tough transition for sure. But Follow me on my YouTube channel, Colin Williams. Do all sorts of stuff there. Movie reviews, rankings, reactions, top 10 lists, versus episodes, live streams. Elliot's been on some of those, so look forward to that. I'd also do a podcast. My buddy Ryan O'Toole over on his channel. Definitely going to talk about some movie news and then obviously what we just found out. So for sure, guys. Follow me on Instagram, Colin Williams Reviews, Twitter, Colin Williams MR, and then I'm really active on Letterboxd, CWilliams991. I literally review anything and everything. I just rewatched some of the Christopher Nolan movies I hadn't seen in a little bit, and first time watches as well. So my reviews are there. So
definitely check him out, guys. He has incredible content. He's a great guy, minus the Mad Max hot. And I appreciate you joining us today, man. And definitely more collaborations coming up, guys. But Jared, man, JB, out representing the Midwest out in Iowa, man.
Yeah,
Where
man.
can people find you and what's coming up next on that great channel of yours?
Yeah, representing the middle of nowhere. Yeah, fun stuff. No, thank you, Elliot, for asking me to be on this, but also Guy at the Movies for hosting all of this, and putting this event together. I'm sure I can't even plan one thing with a friend, so I can only imagine how difficult it was putting all of this together. But you guys can find me at JBuck Studios here on YouTube. I'm doing a bunch of reviews. I do some reactions here or there, but I have a live show every Tuesday. I do some other fun series like Ending Explained Poorly and whatnot. Check that out if you want to watch some video games. I'm over on Twitch as well, same JBuck Studios. But otherwise, check out my Instagram and Twitter at Jared Buckendahl for kind of the most up-to-date thoughts of movies and, heartbreaking stuff like that and whatnot. Yeah, crazy. Get me out of here.
Yeah, man. Now, Jared, again, guys, check out his content. This guy's not only hilarious, but he has a lot of great insight on films and movies, and has a great live show he does every Tuesday. So, and Twitch too. I don't have a Twitch, but I know he's killing it over there. So, Alex, man, one half of the incredible duo of Geeks of Nation, man. Levels of Geeks. I'm sorry, Geeks of Nation. Levels of Geeks. I don't know what that is, Geeks of Nation, but where can the people find you? What's you want to talk about that DC show, man?
Yeah, you can find us at Levels of Geeks on YouTube. It's great meeting Jared and Colin and Guy at the Movies. Thank you for putting this together. Sucks that it ends like this where someone is deaf. But yeah, Levels of Geek, we cover all media related news. I guess this is going to be Monday's topic right now, just to be honest. And then we do 4K reviews. We are live Monday and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Friday, starting Fridays at 9 from 2 weeks from now, I'm putting together a new show called DC Now and Forever, where it's for beginner readers all the way up to veteran DC readers. It's a place where we're going to have all the DC fandom come and hang out. We're going to break down the comics into films also, do the compare and contrast on the films. But it's going to be mostly heavy based on comic books. So it's going to be a book of the month comic book series also we're going to do cover. First episode is going to be the history of DC, whether the timeline, so everyone can figure out where DC stands in the DC timeline. So there it goes. That's a new show coming 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, guys, mark your calendars. That show is going to be the best thing on YouTube. Definitely excited to see that show roll out, man. But again, one half of Levels of Geek. We got Ken, man. What's next on Mid Levels channel? And what can we expect from you, man, coming up soon?
Yeah, well, first off, Elliot, thanks for having me on here, despite the fact that I've only seen like 2 action films. So I'm glad you had me on here to be a part of your action crew tonight. The Mid-Level Media channel, you can expect the Physical Media Report on Monday, where I run down all the latest physical media releases for the week. I also do unboxings and reviews on there as well as Instagram, Mid-Level Movie Reviews. I review stuff on there. I also have a letterbox, Mid-Level MR. And, of course, one half of Levels of Geek. We go live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're surely going to do some kind of a tribute episode Monday for Chadwick. So horrible news.
Yeah, definitely is, man. But on behalf of myself, Ken, Alex, Colin, Jared, thank you guys for tuning in for the first ever Guy at the Movies watch along for Extraction on Netflix. And to kind of wrap this up, guys, if 2020 has taught us anything, show those that are close to you some love, man. Appreciate those that are close to us, your friends, your family. Hug them tight, hug him long, show him how much you appreciate him, and again to the Chadwick Boseman's family, his friends, rest in peace. We're going to celebrate his life because again, he's a fantastic actor. But from everything I gathered from social media, him being an activist and all this good stuff, he was a great man. So rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to everyone stopping by. We'll catch you guys in the next video.